Hello? Hello! That was very loud and abrupt. Happy Sunday, guys. You're very welcome along. Today, we have a very special preview of an upcoming aircraft from Microsoft Flight Sim. This is the FSReborn Phenom 300E, and this is very much kind of like a top-level overview. Over the next couple of days, you'll see more, and Raoul will be joining us on Wednesday for a very much deep dive interview, chatting all about the features, the systems, and the entire project of what this aircraft is all about. So you're all very welcome aboard wherever you're tuning in from, and over the next few hours we're going to have a look at the aircraft. We're going to check out some of its systems. We're also going to look at a new feature never seen, I don't think ever seen in a flight sim before, where we can actually inject our very own FBO and a hangar, and there's not just one single type, and they're not just kind of default, we can customize them. So we're going to be checking that out, and I want to show you how you can apply your own logo to these buildings. They're pretty savage. So that's kind of the plan of what we're at, and if you've any questions, I'll try and answer them. If I don't know the answer, I'll make something up. But sure, you know, I'm known for things like that. So you're very welcome aboard. Hope you had an awesome weekend. And yeah, very, very excited to show you this machine. There's been already a number of trailers released, hopefully giving you a good idea of what this entire package represents. I remember chatting to Raoul many times. And early on, you know, when we first met, I was asking, you know, I said, what's the process of making these aircraft, Raoul? And he stopped me. He's like, Murph, he goes, I don't just make aircraft. He said, that's not it. He goes, I'm trying to create an experience that other people can then go off and enjoy. And well, you can see that now in all his products. So this one, it is just up the notch a little bit there, lads. It's absolutely incredible. So we're going to be showing it off here in a moment. I want to welcome everyone in. There's a good few of you here, so I won't delay. My intros only last about a minute and a half, but you've taken the time out of your schedule to come and see something like this. So I want to at least say hello, welcome in, and yeah, keep your questions coming. And if I can't answer them, you know, if they go beyond the technical ability of me, that bar isn't high. Raoul will be joining us on Wednesday night, and I'll be sure to bring them up there for him. So there's loads of buttons, people are pressing things, and well, you're all very kind. Thank you very, very much indeed. And we'll just kind of jump into it now in a moment. So let us know where you're tuning in from, right? We'll get an idea of where everyone's located around the world. That's kind of mad about these, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
60% of the time, it works.
Every time. So yes, we do have some information we can share with you in relation to the release and all the sort of jazz. So keep your questions coming, right? So right, there's Janie, then there's a lot. We'll jump into it and have an now look and see what it's all about, shall we? Right. Usually I'll spend a couple of minutes just saying hello to everyone, but it's going to take 20 minutes, and then you'll say, get a load of this guy. Right, so we'll bypass that. I'll try and say hello as we're here in the chat. I've lots to go through though. I blame Raoul. He's after making a very technical product. Yeah, right, do you know? So come on over here and we'll show you this thing, because I say you're only itching to get started, right? I can see all the locations coming in now. That is incredible. These are all over the place, lads, which is great to see. So we'll start off at the beginning. This is the Phenom 300E, and well, we're loaded here into Shannon Airport here in County Clare, and this is actually a custom. This is payware scenery. This isn't like a default Microsoft Flight Sim scenery. It's payware, and you might see from the get-go, because then their buildings, where do they come from? They're not part of the add-on scenery, and you would be correct. So with the FBO system, you can actually pop these things in pretty much anywhere. I mean, as I say, if there's space for it, you can pop them in, all right? So looking at the aircraft right here in front of us, these things are just beautiful, man. Embraer always made very pretty jets. Anything from the, you know, the Legacy, then we had the Lineage. You ever see the Lineage, the big, massive Lineage? They're all kind of based on, I think, the 145 neck of the woods, right? The alerts are going mad. These are absolutely crazy. Thank you very, very much indeed for all the support, lads. You're very kind. I see so many locations where you're all tuning in from, like Florida, Minnesota. Just Roy's on the toilet, right? Where is it? Cotswold in the UK, New Jersey, Wisconsin, Cork, France. Let me see, Perth, Germany, Scotland, Poland is here as well. The Netherlands, Canada, Latvia. Very good evening. Kazakhstan. You're all very welcome aboard, guys. And as I said, I'll try and keep this flowing, so it's less of having to deal with. Right, and more you get to deal with the aircraft and everything that we're looking at here. All right. Now, let me know in the chat as well. Is there anyone? But put it this way, right? I imagine everyone has watched all of the trailers. I think that's the main thing. I think everyone has watched at least all the trailers. There's been one a day, and your one's voice. Keep watching. Right, you know, giving you nightmares at night time. So in fairness, we're after getting a great overview from the trailers coming out, because, you know, they explain briefly. They're showing you some of the systems, the features, the sounds, of course. Just incredible detail here. And what's absolutely incredible about all of this, before we even dive further in, all of this project has been built using the native software development kit, or the SDK, for Microsoft Flight Sim. All of it. Which that in itself is an achievement. It really is. I mean, this is all being accomplished from using the default SDK system, and well, that's where Raoul gets his legendary status, you see. So, as you can see, we're looking at the modelling from the outside. The aircraft does ship with a number of different liveries, and I'm sure you guys can agree. I mean, visually, it's stunning. But there's a lot going on here. Yes, we can use custom tail reg numbers, right? So that's my own tail reg number. But also draw your attention to the likes of our pitot covers, right? Engine covers, pitot covers, even the gear pins. These react to the wind, naturally, because that's what 2024 allows you to do. So they'll actually blow in the direction and also the velocity of the wind. And you might say, yeah, that's a nice little feature. Well, that feature is actually more important than you think, because if you're trying to start the engines, if you have wind blowing from the rear towards the front of the engines, that's not a good thing. So you need to be careful about where you position the aircraft for your initial startup. So you might need to get a tug, or you'd have to get some sort of a push, or reposition the aircraft. You need to be careful with this. Now, on top of all of that, from the complexity, from the realism, when it comes to wear and tear, damage modelling, it's all there. But if you're kind of just looking for a very laid back, easy experience, you don't want to have the, not the responsibility, but you don't want the consequence, perhaps, of mishandling real world procedures, well, FSReborn, they have you covered. You can turn all of that stuff off and just hop in and just go for a blast. So it'll tailor to pretty much anyone. And again, it goes back to what Raoul said. This is all about building an experience more so than just a good aircraft. Do you know what I mean? So again, we're looking at what we have. Static elements. You can see there's cones on the ground. We have a GPU and it's connected. You can see the wheel chocks are in place, engine covers on both sides, and all are removed before flight. Now, we will do a full rundown of the aircraft. My plan here, we're going to take it for a flight. And you get to see it in action. We'll show you what it looks like at night time, and all the jazz, everything that comes with the aircraft. It's more than just the aircraft. There's features and all sorts of other stuff going on. But I would like to start off, if you wouldn't mind, well, let's have a look at this FBO situation, right? So what we have the ability with the FSReborn Phenom 300E to place buildings. Right? And what we can do, we can we have a few options, different sizes, different types, right? And we can place these natively in the sim without any bother, really. It's all done through its own menu. Now, if you'd like to get your own custom livery or your own custom decal, you can see this Firefly Air. That's our virtual airline. That's custom, bespoke to, well, us, our community. Well, you can pretty much put what you want up there as well. That does require a little bit of going into the developer menu and a bit of file reading, and I'll go through that here today. So, you know, if when the aircraft releases and you want to give it a go, here's a video that you can look back and say, well, what did this guy do? He did it this way. All right, so that's the hope and that's the plan. So a couple of things to start off with. You'll notice straight away the detail And these aren't just kind of, just for aesthetics. You can use your pilot walking around, single person mode or third person or whatever. But your pilot avatar mode, you can actually walk around and inside these buildings. And I got to say, the modeling, it's absolutely spectacular. And again, wherever you see our logo and the Firefly Air, well, that's where your logo could be. Think of the fun and worry we'll have with this, right? Which is pretty cool. So, starting off here, this is one of a handful of different types of FBO, fixed-based operator. You see these at airports, things like Atlantic or Signature. Basically, it's an operations center for a specific airline, or it could be for a type of operation. A lot of the real-world guys would utilize these services from FBOs. And there's tons of them. As I said, there's Atlantic, there's there's Signature, there's Millionaire. There's a lot of these throughout the world, but this is our own. And with FSReborn, you now have the ability to have your own, which is pretty cool, right? So again, when you're looking at the level of detail here, you got a lovely kind of a reception area, foyer area. Speed up your camera here. There's a bar, right? And this is just where details, you start scratching your head, because there's details in this, lads, which is absolutely brilliant. I mean, you go right in, sky wings, medal of almonds, fly high, or if you're looking more at the, the other beverages, we have Dr. Fizzle, must have sprung up overnight, and all the jazz. But there's loads of detail here. Absolutely loads of detail here, right? So as we move around the corner, as I said, there's an exit, right? And you've got a couple of controls to open and close doors and lighting and all this kind of jazz, right? So they've even modeled the jacks. Look, they've even modeled the jacks in your FBO. Isn't that wild? Merv, can you add the FBO to an existing airport? Yeah. So once there's space, you can add these things anywhere. I'll show you here now in a moment. Just want to show you kind of the level of detail and how savage this really is. Muse fan wants to know, did they flush? I don't think so, Muse. I don't think so. But absolutely brilliant. Dr. Fizzle, you please. Yeah. So you can kind of get an idea, just starting off with the FBOs, it just gives you that extra bit of immersion, I think, because, well, it's your own little base now. And how these work, this is situated at Shannon. I can go to another location in the world and drop in another one. And then when I fly between airport to airport, my FBOs will be there. It's saved, right? Not only that, but eventually we'll be able to share all of these. So let's say, for example, for Firefly Air, for a virtual airline, or your buddies, and you say, hey, I want you to come to my FBO. Well, you can share that file with them. And when they load in their sim using the FSReborn Phenom, they will see it. This feature, it is locked to the FSReborn Phenom. It's locked to the aircraft. If you don't fly the aircraft, you don't see the FBOs. They're part of its package, right? Whether or not they expand on that, who knows? But for the moment, that's how this all works. This will only be available to those operating the Phenom, all right? Again, walking around, there's detail and hilarity here. And, well, we know a lot of the work behind the scenes here, not just from Raoul, but also from Jeppesen 2001. And just brilliant, lads. Yeah, right. I mean, you talk about Raoul and then Jeppesen, but the entire team have completely outdone themselves here. I think it's just, we haven't seen this before on Flight Sim. And to think this can be achieved using default SDK, it's mind-boggling. It really, really is, So, lads, thank you very, very much indeed for all the support. You're very kind. Thank you immensely. So we'll ramble. Lovely couch, Jesus, then, and we'll come around. There's Yara. There's Monica. She's flat out on the phone there, so she is. But you'll see, and again, what you're looking at here, this is aimed at this type of FBO, and I'll show you the menu here now in a moment, right? Will you only be able to see it in the world if you've actually loaded in with the Phenom? Yeah, no, you need to have the Phenom. Unless Raoul can back me up on that, but it doesn't matter even if you have the aircraft installed. My understanding is the aircraft must be running in order to load this package. But if I'm wrong on that, may Raoul or Jeppesen correct me. Again, when you're looking at all these different rooms, your custom logo, your logo here, I mean, it goes into lots of places, which is class to see. And even if we ramble out here, we have our little operations control room or control center. And listen, we ramble in. there's actually background ambient sounds in the room. Like it's nuts, right? It's absolutely nuts. Yes, you do need this version of the plane loaded. Yeah, so there we have it. All right. So that's FBO stuff, right? The fixed based operator, and as I said, we've different designs. There's different features to this as well, and wherever you see that Firefly Air logo, that'll also be the logo of your own logo. I mean, you're talking even like drink coasters. Absolutely incredible, right? So that's the FBO. We'll zoom out of this here briefly because I want to show you now, well, the hangar, right? Because there's another building. So here we have a hangar, and similar to that, the FBO with the hangar, you would slew your aircraft into this. The sim doesn't necessarily know this is a default starting location, so when you place this stuff in, it only loads when the aircraft is loaded, if that makes sense. So you just load in the sim, slew mode, and like you can put your aircraft in your very own hangar, right? And the same crack again, different sizes, different designs. There's incredible lighting. Absolute incredible lighting, and what we're going to have a look at now are the tools that will allow you to place these objects, right? So it's pretty cool. Is the FAA livery included like the M500, says Gibbo? Not with the aircraft liveries, no. So we'll have to make one. Again, you can see your logo. It's done on like tons of different things. So it's pretty cool, right? So I'll show you the toolbar of how we get all this up and running. And I also want to show you the night textures here as well, right? It's gas. This is an aircraft overview, but like we've all these things, options. So once installed, we'll get this new FSReborn logo up on the top screen. And when we click on this, you'll see this FSReborn FBO utility screen pop up, right? And this is effectively a map. You know, we can zoom in, zoom out. If we need to, we can change the background detail of the map if we really want to hone in and find out exactly where things are. This is how it works. And for us to either inject or to edit any of these buildings, we can do a couple of things. If we were to click on a blank area, we get an option that says you can put in FBOs or you can put in a hangar. We have 3 types of FBOs and we have 1 type of hangar. So I've put in I think this is a medium base. If we go to a large base, I'm going to click on that, right? And you'll see now we have a new menu bar. So if I click on this guy, I can move it and drag it, and then I have these tools here to change the rotation, right? Now you'll see that this isn't really ideal here because we're blocking taxiways and all the jazz, right? But if I just move these guys up out of the way, just to give you an idea, because, well, this giant object that I've just spawned in is now here. See that? It just appears. And we can kind of move things around. We can get a little bit of a better kind of layout to this. So if we were to drag this guy in, see the way we're moving it there? So you can do all this inside the sim as well. You don't need to exit and go into, you don't need to go into like dev mode or any of that jazz. You just want to get your buildings placed. This is how you do it. So we do have options over here. This is how we move things around. And what they've done, they've built in enough when it comes to menus, right, that we can actually interact with this new building. So if we kind of zoom into it, we'll say, well, look, I'd really like this to be lined up with the taxiway here on the right hand side. Well, sure, we can do that. So you can move it on the map, right, or we can come down here and we have all these other options. So you see this nudge. So if we want to move, nudge it 10 meters at a time, it's just use the arrows and we'll get an idea. So we need to go this way a bit, that way a bit, and now we can rotate it. You can kind of see how relatively easy this is, right? And it is easy. I mean, it's pretty much instant, right? And now we'll slow this guy down a bit, and let's just see if we can move this guy up, and we just get our heading. We can do the same here with the heading. See these degrees? If it's 5 degrees is too much, just slow it down. And let's see, can we straighten it up here a little bit? And we're not looking too bad. I don't think we'd fall out with the neighbors for placing it there. We're not a million miles off what we're looking for. So here we have now a brand new building placed in addition to the ones we have. Jesus. Right? Now, you might say, Murph, there's all grass and yeah, there is, but watch what we can do, right? So we have other tools here. See this? We have feet above ground. So what we can do, we can actually change the height of the scenery object, right? So there's no more grass. Now this might create a bit of an eyesore, but now we have other ways and other things we can do to fix it. So if we move this above the ground, and now we can also change the pitch, even the bank, if there's not flat scenery, if the scenery is kind of hilly or whatever, right? So if we were to change the bank of this, I'm not to hit me plane. Right. So if we do something like this, maybe. Now there's still a little bit of grass there, and there's different you can kind of see the layout here. To get it absolutely perfect might take a couple of minutes, right? But it's not a big to do. It really isn't a big to do. As I said, we can lower things down. That'll disappear all of this stuff. Or you know, bring it to its full capacity, and then you literally drop it on top of something. You have all those options as well. All right. So something like that. Let's go with that. I think the grass is almost out of there, but you get the idea. Right. Other things we can do then, we have these visibility options. Now this is reading a folder after you set up a custom logo, right? And I'm going to show you how to do that now in a moment. But after you set up your custom logo, you can then apply it to buildings. Now at the moment, you have the option of using the default FSR. You can have one default custom, and then you have none. So there are your three options. So I saw a couple of questions, you know, hey, can we have like multiple different logos? At the moment, no. You have one for FSReborn, one for you, and then one, nothing. There's just nothing there, right? So if you have a look at this, you have your landside entry, concierge, car logo, you have all these different ones, right? So I have to find this one. This looks like the hangar logo. So it's currently set to FSR. It goes to hidden, or it's going to load in my user file. Not deadly, isn't it? And that's as quick as you do it. Also, you have an option here. Do you want to put the, see the canopy? Right? And then your interior logos, the airside canopy. If you don't want the entire canopy, you can actually turn that off. If you don't want a big canopy over it, maybe your aircraft is going to be an issue, right? Turn those off. Landside canopy wall, again, you can turn stuff off out the back, so you have this little feature in the back here, and this is where it comes to you absolutely being able to customize things. Even the car, right? You can see the car. So if we were to say, look, where's this now? The car logo. Where did I see that? Concierge car. It's kind of mad, isn't it? Like, it is mad, right? And then we've other things. You have this central lighting feature shown, landside canopy wall. Pop it in, airside canopy, we can appear and close that as well, right? Now, when we're looking at this building, as I said, then we have these animations, right? So if I scroll down further, we have options under here. We'll disappear these so you can see them. And these are our options. See visibility, that's what I was in. And now we have animations. So the hangar doors, let's go ahead and open them, right? Do you hear the sounds?
Hello there.
And that's because the doors are opening. There's sound files built into the friggin' scenery that you load in. How cool is that? How cool is that? Isn't it very good? And this is where you spend a few moments just getting the settings dialed in, so you have the right elevation, you know, the pitch angle is right, so there's no grass or whatever there. You get the idea, all right? We also have an elevator. And the good thing about the elevator is, well, yes, you can walk into the elevator and it'll bring you upstairs. Like they've modeled an elevator in here. The airside sliding doors and the landslide sliding doors. These are the doors in and out of the building. So here's our landside, right? Oh no, that's airside. This is airside. There's your doors closing. Hear the sounds? It is ridiculous, isn't it? So what I might do, just to kind of show us inside, I'm just going to bring our elevation up a little bit, right? Feet above the ground. We'll just bring it up here a little bit because I want to show you some of the details here, right? And we'll minimize this guy and we'll just pop him up there because we can now walk around and have an old gawk at this, right? So it's a mix of FSReborn and Firefly Air in the hangar, right? So we'll ramble in. And just to show you now the additional details at these larger buildings. And straight away, like, it's just, the scale is just massive. This is a larger FBO, so you get the idea, right? Any grass you see, you adjust it with your elevation, all right? So you can ramble over here, see what's happening. Yes, coffee and buns. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? Again, the detailing, it is absolutely savage. The attention to detail, it's beautiful. It really, really is beautiful. There's the elevator we were talking about, right? That you can walk into that and away you go. You've all these various different rooms, all these different training rooms, look. And it is that of a much kind of larger private booth, look. Just a larger FBO. And the jacks, right? And the jacks. So, like, there's just great scale. Do you know what I mean? So what else do we have then? With a larger FBO, we'll go around this way. the creative genius here, lads. It's frightening. You can kind of see all the, again, anything that you see with FSReborn and the FSReborn logo, that's where your own logo can appear, which is brilliant. Like, it's just, isn't it stunning, lads? Like, this is stunning, right? Raoul says the UI is using the MSFS panel allowed by the SDK, so it'll have a similar 2020 look. I left it default because it's intuitive. Yeah. Can you have it on multiple locations? Yes, you can. Absolutely can. Not only that, you can hear the sounds, right? And this will lock to this whatever time you have in the sim. Like, it's these work. They actually work, right? There's coding and stuff going into them. They actually work. So if you ramble upstairs here, well, you can see a little bit more inside this FBO. Like, isn't it nuts? This is like, you can just pop this in and like, you can make one, have your logos on it, then you can share it with your community. And then maybe everyone has the same. Right, lads, we're doing a Phenom 300E flight. We're all going flying into this location. And here's the FBO package. It's awesome. It's awesome. Loving this. So from the elevator again, we can go rambling. Signs on the wall. What's down this way? Ah, the pilot's lounge. Well, let's go into the pilot's lounge. What's happening in the pilot's lounge? Oh, it looks very comfortable. There's Jemima. Enjoying the views, Jemima. Good woman yourself. But what's awesome here is, you'll notice we're now looking down into our new hangar. What a spot to, well, like, what a location to be at, right? So we're now looking inside our hangar. And that's from the pilot's lounge. And again, you have additional buildings in here. There's more sounds, there's more animations. You get the idea. There's lots and lots of stuff going on. Isn't it class? Absolutely class. Now, to see these things at nighttime, this is where it kind of goes from wow to what, right? And I'll show you that now. So we bring the time of day down. Isn't that something else? And your logo, there's 2 files we need to edit for your logo. Your logo will be lit up in lights. Like, isn't that incredible? Any logo, anything at all. Like, I'm terrified to see, you know, what yous are going to do, right? Question there, is the Phenom only 2024? Yes. Yes, the FSReborn Phenom is a 2024 exclusive. The reason being, it's built using the 2024 SDK. No compromise to backward compatibility. That is how we are able to have this kind of stuff. And this stuff has never been seen before in Microsoft Flight Sim. I don't even think we've seen this level of detail on any sim when it comes to flying at all. X-Plane pilots, you might say you're getting kind of hot start vibes or whatever. This goes beyond that in terms of how, you know, how your customizable options are. There's the smaller hangar we built earlier on. Again, you're looking at all the lighting, right? And you have the same controls when it comes to these buildings as well. If I wanted to interact with, say, this hangar, well, I'll drop down this guy here, right? And I'm going to select me hangar, click on the mouse, and you can see now I have all these options after appearing. But let's open the hangar door. Hear the sounds? And there's our hangar door opening. Isn't it nuts, isn't it? It's nuts, right? So this is just like, this is a release in itself, isn't it? Like, it's a release in itself. This is everything lit up at nighttime, just to give you an idea of our nighttime textures. It's just class, man. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Very atmospheric, very immersive. You know, ramble around the back here. And then if you go upstairs, yep, you dibble you. I tried to get lights like that for my living room. Mr. Two-Tone wouldn't allow me. She says, no, Murph, absolutely not. You're not getting them, right? So you get the idea. Isn't it pretty cool? So it's all FSReborn is the developer, Winkle Gossler. So as I said, this is a custom payware airport, and there's just a bit of space over here that I can plant all this stuff. Isn't it mad? So what I want to show you, we'll put the time back to daytime. What I want to show you is, well, how do we put in a custom livery or a custom logo, right? Because that's I'm sure that's what everyone is going to want to do. Now, the beautiful thing as well, once you have this asset installed, once you've set your scenery or your FBO, it's automatically saved. That's it. Turn off the sim, come back next week, turn it back on, load into the Phenom 300E, and this will appear at the airport you left it, or multiple airports. It's saved to that aircraft package, if that makes sense. Yeah. So we'll show the plane here now in a few moments. So what we're going to do here, I just want to show you how we get our custom logos, right? Because well, if you're acting like me and I'm a complete idiot, it took me 7 minutes less from start to finish, right? So what we have, the program we're going to use, it's a freeware program. It's called paint.net. And the reason why it's paint.net, it is the easiest. It is the easiest, right? So we download paint.net, and then we need to download the custom logos mod, which is a file from FSReborn, and that will be available over on the FSReborn Discord. That's where you can grab this file that we need. We unzip said file when we download it, and we put it somewhere handy, like your desktop, or it does not go into the sim. You just put it somewhere handy, right? We then launch the sim with the Phenom installed, right? And we have to enable dev mode, right? And I'm going to show you what all that's going to look like. So we've extracted the file, and now we're loaded into the sim with the Phenom, and we need to go in and enable dev mode. Now, dev mode, you see it up here at the very top of the screen. Dev mode. All right. After we enable dev mode, we're going to go into select file. So file, right? And we're going to go to open project. Click on open project. And here it's going to start looking anywhere on your computer. So you just need to point this to where your file is, right? So what we do, we select the folder we just unzipped, and we open the FSR Phenom FBO Customs logo XML. So once we point it to the Phenom, or wherever you extract it to, see this XML, everyone will have the same. You'll see package int, package definite, you see all this stuff. The file we're looking for is an XML file. We click on that and we hit open, right? Dev mode will take a few moments. If it crashes, that's the dev mode, right? That's just where it is. It shouldn't crash, I hope. But if it does, we'll try not to get too worried, right? Now, it's just loaded the package, so that's why you've kind of weird things on your screen. The fact that I've done this already, it might come across as a little bit janky. But we'll try not to worry, right, as it loads in the aircraft. Now, next step. We select the line that shows aircraft Phenom, basically this one. Do y'all see this line here now? That is the one we need to select. There's a line just here. After you load or open the package, you got to click on this guy here, all right? And what I would say to do, if you right-click it, you can build and mount. Build and mount it, right? So you click on that. Again, the sim will take a few moments just to figure out what you're asking it to do, and then we can continue on from there. A console might open up after we've done this. The console is showing you all the different bits and bobs of the aircraft. We don't need the console. So here's the console, right? So we don't need the console. We're going to close that. And now that's it. We're now live inside a project editor, and this is where we can kind of have a bit of fun, right? Your cameras might cycle. It depends if you have custom views. But apart from that, we should be grand. Now, next job we need to do is open one of the folders that came with the file. The file that we downloaded, we extracted it. Well, in there's a folder that we need to open, all right? And we use paint.next to do it. So I'll show you what's inside the folder. Inside the folder, we're going to go into... We'll go back one so you can show you, right? Go back one. This is our folder, right? These are all the files. We're going to go into a folder called package sources. Now, lads, don't worry. There will be a full write-up on how to do this, but I only want to show you for, at least some people prefer the video. Anyway, package sources, sim objects, miscellaneous, the FSR 300 FBO, and we go into texture. And there are 2 files in here we need to edit. All right. So all you need to do, you open these guys with paint.net, right? And what I'd say is open both of them. And literally all you need to do inside paint.net, make sure you have your selection tool and you highlight. That's not a selection tool. You highlight. Here's a selection tool. You highlight where it says your logo text. Highlight where that is and just delete it. Now you come along and you place your logo text in that area. JPEG, PNG, doesn't matter. That's what you want to pop in there, okay? When it comes here, you have additional text here. You do the same. And then when it comes to upping your logo, right, uploading your logo, you do the same crack again. You just want to remove the text that's already there. So you'd be left with this blank canvas. Then you come along and you can literally drag, drop, copy, paste, whatever logo that you want in there. And in my case, I did that until we ended up with something that looks like this, right? So here I have these files. I can open this with Paint just to show you. So there's the Firefly Air. I didn't need any additional text below it. I could put something there, it's up to you. And then the logo, right? And remember what I said, there are 2 files we need to do. So when you have it done on one file, select all, copy, open the blank one or the other blank one. You'll have to remove the other stuff as well. And then you paste your stuff in. One is a daytime texture, one is a nighttime texture. Does that make sense? Right? You only have to do this once, by the way, and this only if you want your own custom logo. All right, fair enough. So once we have that done, we save the textures, right? So we save, they're all saved, right? Don't save because I don't need to save them. I already have them, right? But you would save them. And then from the menu bar inside Microsoft Flight Sim, we're going to select the FSReborn tab. We open it, and this then is where we can choose what logos we need. So we're now finished with dev mode. Exit dev mode, and if we come on down here, we can select our buildings, right? So see the way we've selected this building? There's buttons there. Nikki, thank you very much indeed. It's easiest using something like drone cam, just so you can see everything, right? And you can tidy up your screen here. So we can see, right, look, these are the options. So here's the building, right? So if we were to say visibility, external roof logo. By default, it'll be set to the FSReborn. Or you can have none, or it's now reading that file that you've just created, that texture that you've just overridden. That's how you say, yeah, okay, it works, or do I need to move it, or you know what I mean? All right. So that's how you do it. And because you have 2 files, a daytime and a nighttime, that's where you get the lighting effects in the evening time. All right. Once you're happy with everything, what we do, we close the project, you find the folder, which again, there's going to be a write-up of this in the file we already had. You'll find the folder, and this now contains a new folder, right? It'll say custom logo package inside the project, right? So we'll go back out to here, sim objects, package sources, go back one as well. You'll find it in here, and then this is the one that you go and drag into your see this one here, user logo. This is the file or the folder. You now drop it into your community folder, and that's it. Or you can share it, and that's it. You never need to go near dev mode or otherwise again. All right. As I said, there will be a full write down of how to do this. I just wanted to show you. It only takes a few minutes. Literally just, you have to kind of follow the SDK way of doing it. But effectively, all you're doing is you need to edit 2 texture files. There's a process you need to follow, but you're literally only editing 2 texture files. You save the files, you test it in the sim. Once you're happy, move them across into your community folder. Job's done. End of story. That's it then. Continue on. Are we happy enough? Grand. As I said, there will be a write-up. If anyone's a little bit, you know, like a goat looking at thunder thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? You'll have a tutorial. All right. So I wanted to show you that. So that's the FBO stuff. Do you like it? And well, let's see. I've no sim sounds. So we'll just restart the flight here. How did I lose my sim sounds? Do. We might need to restart the sim if this doesn't work. That's strange. I lost my sim sounds. Anyway, so what we're going to do next is have a look at the aircraft. And my plan here, we're going to take this for a flight. All right. Now, there's probably burning questions already. There's our sounds back. Brilliant. And you see that everything loads in, even the new building. Right. I'll jump inside the aircraft. And if we go outside... Well, there's the new scenery building I just made. See, it just saves it. That's it. It's there forevermore. Isn't it deadly? It's just deadly, right? So what I might do, I might disappear that because it's blocking some of my taxiway. So I'll show you how to delete it. So again, using this menu, if you click on this guy, right? We got then, how do I delete this one again? Top right hand corner, you see a little bin.
Hello there.
Click the bin, it deleted it. Thanks very much for playing. We're finished with this menu system, and that's us then. Simples, right? So it's a feature outside of the aircraft itself. All right. So any questions, lads, do let us know. Raoul is here in the chat. He'll answer what he can. And next up, we're going to have a look at the machine itself. So the Phenom 300E, it's a remarkable plane. It's one of the fastest. It is the best-selling business jet, I think, right now from Embraer. And, well, it's cool. It's absolutely cool. There is similar aircraft. You have the Phenom 300. The 300E is the newest version of the aircraft. And I think in late... or only this year, actually, they've further enhanced what the aircraft can do. But to start us off, right, we'll just go for a bit of familiarization. So here's our main cockpit. We have pilot flying, pilot not flying, or whatever way you want your crew, okay? And then we also have the cabin. Now, what's pretty cool here, you can interact with the stations directly, or you can use the EFB menu system to get around. So the things like remove before flight, open doors, all that kind of stuff. You can press on the locations directly in the sim, or you can just use the tablet. So they got you covered there as well. All right. So from the interior of the aircraft, it's gorgeous, isn't it? I mean, look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it does come with different interiors. Depending on the livery, you can select the different interior, and the livery, you'll see all that on release, right? So in terms of how does one interact? Well, there's a lot of click spots with the aircraft. Tons and tons of little click spots. Animations are perfect. There's sounds, of course, for all of these as well. And then looking down towards the rear of the aircraft. I mean, look at the look at the textures here. Look, isn't that insane? Insane, right? Right, come on down here. And here's the jacks, look. Yep. So here's the jacks. It's amazing how important the jacks is. But it's more obviously than a jacks, because we have all these... Like, there's stuff here, and you can actually see where things are, including a life jacket inside in the jacks. I mean, think about it, right? There you are, doing your business. The next thing, no, you're in trouble here, lads. So they thought of that, which is cool. So we can close the doors here. You know, people are probably asking, does the jacks work? Don't stand on the jacks, by the way. I probably need battery power on, do I? I probably need battery power. The jacks flushes, you'll hear the sounds. The blinds, you can use them yourself. They're movable, so you click and drag, or press and hold, and then drag. All right, and then you'll see just the detailing, sounds, all that sort of jazz. It's absolutely fantastic. Our fire extinguisher back here. You'll notice then we got cushions. Anyone familiar with FSReborn? No ordinary cushion, as Q would say to James Bond. And we do have some tray tables here. Again, the reflections, beautiful. I mean, and you know, you can see it there, hopefully, on the reflections. See where we have the window open, we close the blind. It's beautiful, right? Visually stunning. There's also another feature here, armrest, and we have a onboard or in-flight entertainment center, currently off because the aircraft is off. And we'll show you what that can do a little bit later on. But there is a control panel inside the cabin, right? I haven't broke it yet. No, haven't broke it yet. Right, so we'll continue on. Again, there's loads of little things to explore. I'm not going to show you everything because, well, I want you to have the fun to get around there. This is an Easter egg that I absolutely love. It's a bottle of hooch, and it says Saint Raoul, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I think that's brilliant to see. There's Raoul with his family. I think it's brilliant, and love to see it. Love to see it. And of course, the drink is called Saint Raoul, right? Knock you for six, but it's the detail, right? The detail is class. So I very much like it. Looking around the aircraft, you notice how lovely and clean it is, right? That mightn't always be the case. And also when it comes to resupply, be it, you know, cups of coffee. Yes, there's a coffee machine. Yes, you can put cups in for the coffee. There's all of that jazz. And then we have assorted magazines for your flight crew, right? So yeah, there's lots going on. Lots and lots. So the aircraft itself, when it comes to click spots, what I'm going to show you. We have here the FSReborn EFB. Now we can maneuver this. If you get into the aircraft and it's gone scoways, right click the bottom left hand corner. You'll see where the icon will change. The cursor will change to a hand. Just right click it, it resets it, and then you can move it around to your heart's content. Right? So inside here, we're looking at the status page, and this is where the aircraft... if you're impressed already with the FBO stuff, right? So with the aircraft, it's giving us a status overview of the critical components modeled of the aircraft. And we can see we got our battery 1, battery 2, we can see tach hours, we can see the battery status, its current capacity in terms of voltage, right? We have tires, tire pressure, right? Brake pads, air pressure, and tire status. We also have the engine 1 and 2 tach hours, and then we can see bulbs. So on this page, it's a very quick reference. Everything says okay, grand, right? But what if we want to go a little bit further than that? We can then go into our maintenance tab. Just down here at the bottom, it's a touchscreen. So on the maintenance tab, this is where we're getting more information. The aircraft is very much alive. There's wear and tear. Systems will fail depending on not only how you handle the aircraft in terms of flying it, bouncing it off the runway, fast taxiing, all this sort of stuff, but also from the systems. If you leave something on and then you say, hey, let's turn on the engine, it'll see all of these issues and you'll damage it, right? And then you have wear and tear. If you don't perform maintenance at the the regular maintenance intervals, well, systems could fail. That's how this works. Now, if that's beyond what you want out of your flight sim, you have options to turn all this off. It turns it all off. There's no consequence. If you don't want consequence, you can turn it all off. If you want consequence, and I've broken this thing, the first time I've powered it, I've broken this thing more times. I'd like to say that's what you try and do when you test things, but genuinely been caught out. I've broken the engines on this so many times, right? But anyway, you can see here, so if you click on any of these dots, they're going to bring you to another station. So see, for example, we have, here's the engine. All right. There's engine. Here we have the generators, right? Generator 1, generator 2. Okay. Well, what do we have here? This is the engine management. Okay. Here we have the hydraulic pumps. And again, you can see, well, look, you can perform maintenance or replace them. You can replace them. And they say, look, the regular maintenance for your hydraulic pumps should be every 300 hours. So if you follow this, you're going to be good. Your mileage will vary depending on where you're flying the aircraft, how you're flying the aircraft, all the sort of stuff, right? Then we have our vapor cycle system, and it explains to you what this is, right? This one, I want you to remember this, because if you're like me, you will break this many times. Many times you'll break this, right? The vapor cycle system drives the air conditioning compressor and the cabin evaporators that provides cabin cooling for the Phenom 300E. And on the ground, air cooling is driven via the compressor drive, and running the aircon at high speed on GPU power without the engines or leaving it on during engine start can cause additional stress and accelerates wear on the compressor. Right? So you can break many things. Let us know as well. This is the aircraft in its current state is pre-release. If you see anything, let us know. Let us know, and it'll be added to to a further patch. All right, so that just gives you an idea of all the different systems here. The flaps management system, our brakes management. You can see different pads, how they're getting on, and then we have all our tires then as well. Tire pressures. Right, even down to the tire pressures. So that's all from the maintenance side. And again, if you go into the realism, well, this is where you can turn things on or off. And if you're feeling particularly fancy, you can turn on random failures. And how often do you want to have some sort of a random failure? And it could be basic. Yeah, the jacks isn't working anymore. Oh no. Or the in-flight entertainment is busted. Or it could be something far more important. A generator has failed, this sort of crack. So you can have random failures turned on or off. All right. So from the nuts and bolts of the aircraft, you can kind of see where we're at from the maintenance side. And then your pre-flight is just giving you an overview of status, what's going on with the aircraft. In addition to all of that, you'll see that we do have Navigraph integration. But for anyone who'd like to utilize charts, you don't necessarily just need to go with Navigraph. What FSReborn have done here, they're working with working title, so you can actually use your Lido charts, which are default in the sim, and you can get those to display on your avionics. I'll show you how to do that in a while. All right. So for those of you who use Navigraph, well, this is where you can do your import of your SimBrief flight plans. You can load in your charts. You can access them from the EFB, and you can also access them from your Garmin G3000. All right. Moving on, we have our ground operations, and this is where we now start kind of expanding the experience of what this aircraft can do. You can just kind of, load instantly, bypass all this stuff and just fly the plane. Or if you'd like, well, you can really get into the entire experience of, okay, I need to get fuel, I need to order fuel, I need to fuel the aircraft myself, I need my passengers, and I need to look after my passengers. You control all of these. You're in control of all of this. So the current status, what we can see, this is what we're loading into our aircraft thus far. That's what we're looking at. So we can see, right, well, we have these click spots. We can open and close different doors. We can remove pitot covers, engine covers. We can do all that from the EFB, or failing that, we go to the outside of the aircraft in walk around mode, and you literally walk up to the station and say, well, remove the pitot covers, close the front cargo latch, right? So you can do this manually, and you will get CAS warnings if you leave these open. Now we've spoken about fuel, and I want to show you this. So we're going to come over here to the right hand side, open the panel, and this is a fuel panel, and it's modeled. This works. It's actually modeled and it works. So we're going to leave that open for the moment because we're going to request some fuel, right? So we're going to jump back into the plane, and our current fuel is what we can see here on the screen. So I only want a little bit more, call it 300, right? Now, not only do we want fuel, well, let's see, can we take on a passenger? Now, you have an option. If you want to physically see passengers in your aeroplane, if you want to see the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 avatars, the ones that scare the absolute bejesus out of you, you can. You just need to make sure in your default sim settings, their visibility is turned on. This system will work with that system on or off. The FSReborn aircraft will still simulate this. Doesn't matter if you display the passengers or not, right? In my case, I haven't turned off because they'll just appear inside the aircraft. There's further things to be worked on. But if you want to have them in the aircraft, you absolutely can. If you don't want them in the aircraft, you absolutely can. All right, so I just wanted to show you that. So what we're looking at here, if you're asking the question, it's in pounds or kilos or whatnot, you have your settings page. Again, it's on the tablet, and you'll see where you have stop pressing the button. You'll see units of measure, weight. So you can change it from pounds to kilograms, PSI to bar, degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit, gallons or litre. You can change all of that. All of that, right? And then we have a couple of other options in here as well. Your passenger vehicle, for example, what's going to bring your passengers to the aircraft. And what's pretty cool about this, if you have the FSR 500 installed and the custom vehicle pack, again, that's available over on the FSReborn Discord, well, it will detect those vehicles associated to the FSR 500. So you can use them, like your Fanari or Lamborghini and so on, right? For purposes. Or you can just keep it on auto or just use a blue van. Right, so this is where you can kind of set up all of these things. I'm going to leave mine on the out for Ari for the crack. So what we can do, we're going to go back into our ground ops. We've one passenger weighing 167 pounds, and sure, we'll take a second passenger. So see where the numbers are? This is where they're going to be seated. So we'll leave this guy blank. We'll put 2 and 5. They're having a domestic. They don't really talk to each other, and they want to sit across from each other, right? So we'll put it, I don't know, 130 and 170 pounds, and our fuel. Now, this is where we have our options. We can load in real time, or we can load instantly. Instantly bypasses everything else. Or we load in real time. I'm going to click load in real time, and now we can see this is the FBO simulation. The fuel truck, well, they've requested the fuel truck. Passengers, they're currently waiting in the FBO, and we're waiting on the vehicle. So they're requesting the fuel truck right now. It's dispatched, it's on the way, it'll be with us in about 2 minutes. There's now a fuel truck on the way to us. So we'll carry on doing what we're doing. So our trucks are in play. We're going to remove the engine covers, the landing gear. We're going to close, we can keep the cargo doors open. No doubt they're going to have luggage, right? But what we will do, we're going to connect the GPU, and we'll put out our little red carpet. Because, well, we want to load passengers. So you can see now, there's the GPU, and there is our little red carpet. All right? So with the GPU, we'll go back to that in a moment. When it comes to the aircraft systems and the flow charts for this, there is a manual available. This is going to be available either on the FSReborn website, or it's going to be over on their Discord. This will tell you everything you need to know about the airplane. There's over 133 pages of stuff. And you can follow it all the way down from learning about the systems of the aircraft, the engines, but also it goes into your normal procedures, emergency procedures, and all the jazz. It's a full I'll explain everything to you. This is how the machine works. So there's a bit of bedtime reading there if you want to go through it, and you'll learn about how the FADEC system in particular has been modelled. I can't remember how many lines of code, Raoul, but like tens of thousands of lines of code, how all of this how everything works. And like, you know, when you're looking at the manual and you start seeing, oh, hang on, this is far more than just kind of basic stuff. This is modeling, sensoring, technical data, next level stuff, lads, right? So that's the idea. All the systems, what you can do, what's happening during engine startup, what does the ICAS or ECAS system, what do all the different alerts mean, how do we fix them, and so on. Then we go through the engine oil system, and then we've the electrical system, and so on and so forth. You've got an absolute, you know, barrel load of information in this manual. All right. Raoul, actually, when is the manual available? Can anyone grab this? I wonder, because it might be handy for folks prior to you know, jumping into the aircraft to do a little bit of reading. Do you know what I mean? So that's available there, right? Tomorrow, grand. So you can pick up the manual tomorrow. That's the manual now, Raoul, yeah? Right, so I'm waiting to see Mr. Fuel Truck. Let's have a look. We're going to turn on the batteries. Battery 1 and battery 2. And if we have a look down here, a couple of things we need to check inside the aircraft. So we're going to turn on our in-flight entertainment switch. That needs to come on. Flight controls reset, leave it alone. Packs oxygen. We're going to make sure that's pushed down. We're going to move up here. Our electrical gens go to auto. Pneumatics go to auto. And then we have our annunciator test. We'll do all that in a moment, right? So literally for now, we just want the aircraft to start powering up. We're going to turn on our emergency lights. Turn on our nav lights. We'll click OK here. Everything's just going through its normal setup. We're going to go in and bring up different displays, what I want to see. So on the left hand side, I want to show the aircraft. On the right hand side, I want to show our electrical. Now, this is using the working title G3000, which means we can actually move the screens and say, well, what do you want on what screen? You have an option. So I'm going to bring the checklists up over here. See that? And now we can see our aircraft, and now we can see our flight stuff here too. All right. So that's all grand. Fuel on board. That's all grand. We're going to hop out now. So see the note I'm after getting? Here's our fuel truck, and it's telling me to remove the fuel cap. Yes, sir. I'll do that for you now. Be Janie then. So we'll come over here to our fuel cap, and we're going to remove it. Fuel cap off. Okay. So it says set quantity and open the fuel valve. All right. So let's see. We're going to... Easy now, Murph. We're going to open the fuel valve. And it now says refueling in progress. So that's now refueling the aircraft for us. Now you can skip all of this. If you don't want to do this stuff, well, you don't need to do it. But if you want to get this experience of, yeah, well, I'm the pilot, therefore I got to make sure we have fuel. I need me passengers, and so on. You could do all of these things. So that's now refueling the aircraft. You can see the quantity starting to increase because I've set that inside the EFB, right? So that's what we're showing here. It's now refueling it, and you have these little icons they'll appear. So they're telling you what's happening with the aircraft, right? So single point refueling, that's going in. We'll get a note to say, yeah, it's now done. And once it's done, but we need to close, we need to shut off the valve, close the fuel tank cover, and close the door. Otherwise, something terrible could happen, right? Is the bird study level? It's high fidelity, Dave. Yes, it is high fidelity. Yes. Like, the aircraft is designed for single pilot operation, meaning that it's actually quite easy to hop in and go flying. It's actually very easy to do it. However, to get a better understanding of the systems and what could go wrong, right? So here's a little close the fuel valve, Roger. I pressed the wrong button. Move across here. And I will close this switch. We need to close that. And that's done. Battery off. Close the little switch. And then close the panel. And that's our refueling done. So he's happy enough. He's now driving away, and we can go in now and check our fuel on board. All right. So far, so good. So GPU, it is connected. We just need to turn it on. Or maybe I didn't connect it yet. So we're going to come back here to ground, GPU connect. And we can see our light on here to say GPU is available. If we're unsure, we can actually look at our electrical system. It says the GPU is connected, but it's not running yet. All right, so let's go ahead, turn on our GPU. GPU is connected, and you can now see that we have our sheds 1 and 2, DC buses 1 and 2, central bus, and then we have the emergency bus here as well. All right, so everything's running. GPU connected. It came up as a crew alert system advisory. Go ahead and click that. That's quite okay. So we're now connected to ground power, and so far, so good. So next thing, we're going to go through a few more bits and pieces. We can see now, according to the FBO, our passengers are on their way. They should be with us in about 2 minutes. Crikey. So we'll keep out an eye for them. Before we get to that, well, it's time to configure the aircraft. So we have this annunciator test switch down here in the bottom left. So we're going to go in and start utilizing this. And we just move the mouse over. So we're going to check the annunciator. We're going to press and hold it. And what we're looking for here is illumination of a couple of lights, your annunciator lights. So you can see one here for a cabin dump. You can move around here and see another one for our pusher cutout. So you're just verifying that these lights are working. Also, you have this emergency electrical one here as well. Gibbo, thanks for that, buddy. That there, lads, is the link for the FSReborn Discord. I'll copy it a second time so our viewers on YouTube will see it as well, hopefully. So that is the link. So yeah, there is a bug we found. It's not with the aircraft. It looks to be something from working title. See the flight ID? It brought it in twice. No idea why it is. I've only put it in once in the sim. It's something that Raoul says I can't see it, but when you put it in, so we think it could be a working title thing. But yeah, it has been flagged. But yeah, great eyes, Finn. You caught that well. So that was the first test. Next, we're going to go for smoke detection. So what we're looking for here is going to be an ECAS warning and then some bells and whistles. The passengers are 40 seconds away, so we'll do this before they get here.
Hello there. Fire.
Okay, now we'll do the fire warning for the engines.
Fire.
So we can see engine 1, engine 2, fire.
Fire.
And then we go to the far side, we can do stall protection test.
Stall.
And we do our ice protection test. So we're verifying we're getting all the warnings on the ECAS system, all right?
Stall.
Now if we have a look here, well, our vehicle with our passengers should be arriving in about 10 seconds, and here they are, look. And that's the vehicle. That vehicle is actually read from the M500, the FSR 500 add-on. The Phenom comes with its own, right? So there's our passengers, right? You've seen this before if you had the FSR 500. You've seen similar stuff, right? So I pressed the wrong button. We'll go back inside the aircraft. So we can monitor what they're doing. So it says, look, they're preparing to board. They're unloading their cargo from the airplane. Now they're loading the airplane, and the passengers are taking selfies, as you do, right? So we continue on here, loading the airplane. Once this is all finished, we'll start worrying about powering up the aircraft. Our main kind of job here is making sure our systems are indeed working. All right. So we continue on to our flows. Hydraulic pumps will be turned on. Fuel pumps go to auto. Right. Passenger signs. We want these guys to sit down and you know, be quiet when they get on board. An important thing to check out here, and remember we mentioned this earlier on during the aircraft systems, right? And it comes down to the environmental control system. If we were to turn on, now we're on the GPU, so we can turn this fella on, right? If we turn these air conditioning fans on, and we go to hear them powering up, and see this VCS, that's now turned green, letting us know that it's on. Make sure that's turned off before you start the engine, otherwise you'll break it. And if you don't have air conditioning, well, your passengers aren't going to like that at all. You know what I mean? So you want to watch for that, all right? So the system is working. I don't need it right now, or at least I don't think I need it. Again, looking at our environmental controls, the cabin is set to 15, it's currently 20. The cockpit is set to 15, it's currently 25. It's a little bit warm. So we might start up the engines now in a moment, and you know, once everyone's in situ, we'll turn on the aircon. So from our FBO, they're now loaded. Everyone's in. We can go in and look at the cabin comfort screen. So we have Anders Middleton, a first-timer, and then we have Amika Solberg. So we can see some information about these people. Now, it's important. This little finite...
Can I do the refund?
No, there's no refunds. This little information here is important. If you're a first-time flyer, well, they're just going to be ecstatic about everything. Oh, this is great. They're not necessarily going to worry too much, you know, if there's a bit of dirt in the cabin or, you know, maybe a light didn't work. Amika Solberg, however, is a VIP. They're going to be far more moany and, you know, conscious of what you're doing in the aircraft. So there's more going on here than just, yeah, there's a couple of passengers in there. So we need to be aware of that, right? Now, we have said, we've already pinged the fasten seatbelt sign, right? Now, we have PAX cabin lighting. I'm going to turn that on to the passengers. Our in-flight entertainment is already turned on, right? And what else do you want to do here now? So the signs should be seatbelts on or off. We'll turn them back on. So they've now been told seatbelts need to be on or off. All right? 100% giveaway, yeah. Right, we continue on. So passengers are loaded. We'll go back down to our ground ops. And at this stage, we're going to close the aft cargo door. Park and brake is set. So we're going to remove the chocks. And what I want to do here now, I want to import a flight plan from SimBrief. Now, we can do this manually through the aircraft, or we can use SimBrief and we can automatically horse it in. So if we look at our flight plan, we're going to click import from SimBrief. I need to update that. That's why it didn't work. SimBrief username. I've changed all this. Look. I think that'll work. Try it again. There we go. Right, so here's what our flight plan looks like according to SimBrief. We're going to be departing out of Shannon and we're flying up to Dublin. We can see what our block fuel is going to be, ground distance and all the jazz. We can see everything what's happening here. All right? He knows you haven't started the engines and he's not putting on a seatbelt. I simulate that. The VIPs are stubborn. Right? Adam Controls, thank you very much indeed, buddy. Right, so we have all this in SimBrief, and I have a setting here that'll say, do you want to send the SimBrief plan into your Garmin G3000? We have that option to do. All right? Otherwise, you turn it off and you have to horse it in then yourself. You put it in manually. All right? So, I want to initialize a couple of things of the aircraft before we go. So we're going to come down here. Before we go into any of this, we're going to come back one. We're going to go into our utilities and we are going to set up our initialization. So make sure the aircraft is good to go. First and foremost, we're going to start with our voice recorder. So it's going to go off and do that. In progress, and we'll get the green lights to say, yeah, all is well. That's all done. The next page now, this is going to be the alerts. So we're going to check for the TOS system test, terrain alert warning system. And we should get an oral confirmation if okay or not okay, right? And it's kind of a go, no go. If you get a failure here, you need to go back into maintenance. You can't perform...
System test, okay.
You can't perform maintenance in the sky, do you know what I mean? We'll do one now for our traffic with ADSB. And we'll see what happens. What happens if I had bad sushi the night before?
Traffic, system test passed.
All right, next page, we're going to go in. Our thrust rating. This is important because this is based on information that's going to be sent into the FADEC system to say this is how hot it is outside. If you don't program this, the aircraft possibly may not start according to plan. The FADEC is pretty cool. It looks after almost everything of an engine startup. But the only thing it won't monitor is your N1 rotation for a hung start, and I think it's high oil pressure. It'll cover everything else. So we're going to set the data. It is currently 18 degrees outside, and we're going to send that into our main system. So that's coming up next. Right? So, that's all looking good. Down here is all looking good. Engine switches are currently off. We'll be starting these up now very shortly. Data accepted. We'll say okay. So next thing is our flight plan. So that's happy enough with everything that we have. We can accept this initialization. And now we're good to go. Now, we'll go into our flight plan to confirm. So, Agena, we can put in the procedure. So we're planning our departure here out of Shannon. We're on the Agena 3 Bravo, X runway 24. So let me see, Abigail, Agena 3 Bravo. That's it there. And we're going to load. And then later on, as we come down into Dublin, we have destination. So we can go procedure. We're going to put in our arrival. The arrival into Dublin is the Oscar 4 Lima. So we'll scroll down to Oscar 4 Lima. Oscar 3 Romeo, Oscar 4 Lima. Runway 28 left is what we're aiming for up in the big smoke, so 28 left. We can load that. And then our last procedure, we can actually put in the ILS approach. ILS for 28. Transition is probably from pizza. That's our initial approach fix. And we can load this in then as well. Minimums, you can put it in there. I know we'll call it, it'll be on our charts, but we can put this in directly ourselves. Just call it 250, enter that, and load. Not approved for GPS, that's quite okay. So our entire flight plan is now loaded in the aircraft. Right? So that's all grand. Aircraft systems, what do we want to see? Well, I want to see these guys during engine startup. This page here, let me see, our fuel, just verify fuel on board, that looks correct. Engine settings are done, so we have all that data sent, and then it's going to be the electrical system. That's all grand. When it comes to our checklist, this is where we can start putting some information in. So let's see here now. I need to move this guy over. There we go. So we can say, right, oxygen is done, test panel done, fire, smoke detection, annunciator panel, fasten seat belts, external lights as required, emergency light switch is armed, fuel quantity and balance done, oxygen checked, thrust levers are at idle, parking brake is set, engine ignition switches go to auto, set to auto, correct, and the doors have been closed. Let's verify the doors are closed. We'll go to ground ops and the door is open. Close the door. Cool. GPU is still connected, but apart from that we should be good. Quick check over here to make sure all the external stuff is removed, especially that gear, the engine pin or the landing gear pin, and our GPU is set. Okay, lovely hurdling. We can now go to the next page. Again, if you don't want to follow this, you don't need to follow this, right? But it's all there for you. After start, so we're going to start up this. It's going to be engine 2 we start first. So hydraulics are on, pumps are on, and we're going to start up this machine. It uses FADEC, so it will look after itself. We just keep an eye on it. So we're going to go to engine number 2. We're going to put the switch into run, and then we hold it in the start position 2 seconds. 1, 2. Okay, so we can see bus shed off. Ignition coming up. N2 coming up. And this is where we monitor. ITT 484, and N1 is coming up, and that's a good start on the right hand side. So we got a good start out of the engine. All right, moving across now. At this stage, because we have the generators up and running and we can verify generators are running, you can do two things. You can disconnect the GPU after one engine start, and if you do, the right engine will actually increase its power output to enable the left engine to start, or you can keep the GPU in and you'll get the very same startup sequence. So for this, we're going to remove that ground power unit. So I'm going to turn off the GPU. I'm going to come back here to ground. We're going to disconnect, remove, and now when I go to start up the left engine, you're going to see the right side increase. All right? So we'll do the same. We'll go to run, and we'll press and hold start for 2 seconds. There's the right side increasing, and our left side is coming up. Ignition is on, schedule push came off, and we're looking at our ITT and our N1. See the right engine now backing off? 480 on our ITT, and the FADEC did a great job. Alright? So you can see even that simulation of the engine start, like it's class, right? It's class. So advisory is just telling us that our ADSs are off. We'll go ahead and turn these to auto. And what else do you want to do here? This all looks good. That all looks good. Windshield heating, worry about that until takeoff. Now, a couple of other things to do before we go. Squawk machine, we'll stick it on to... well, she's on VF4. Let me see, transponder. You can leave it on auto or altitude reporting. Auto will do the job for you. We'll put it on to altitude reporting. So GPU, if available, done. Emergency button. We can test this now. So to show you what we can do, we can actually bypass the batteries. And this is like your emergency power. We can bypass the batteries and just have the aircraft run on its generators. To do this, we're going to come down here to this little red switch, open the guard, and if we press down on this, you'll see that the batteries are now disconnected, the generators have taken over. So that's letting us know our emergency power supply is working. When we deactivate it, our batteries come back live and the system is running full. All right. It could be anti-aliasing on the screen. Yeah, you're going to get that. It's between what Twitch or YouTube does with encoding. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you see any kind of, I can't see them on my screen. So if you see them on the live stream, right? I was warned to read the manual. I was warned, lads. Right? Right, okay, so battery voltage, we've checked all those. I'm happy enough. Electrical emergency button, test panel, aircraft control unit. These are all done, right? V-speed should already be in. I see 185 knots, so we can verify this. Back into initialization. Engine setting, system setting, flight plan. Go to the next page. FMS is loaded. All our fuel weight and balance is loaded. All our weather and stuff is loaded. And then we have our V-speeds. Go ahead and horse those in. And we'll re-accept that initialization. And now we're good. If we want to display the map now, we can put in the map. VSD is not available yet with working title. That's why you can't see it there, lads. Just be aware of it. All right. Now we can change what the map looks like. We go into map settings, and we can have this take up all of the screen or just some of the screen. So you have your options there. All right. What I'm going to put up here on the left-hand side, I'm going to keep the aircraft systems because I want to see what's going on with status. Right. All our pressures. ECS is going to come on here on this screen. So we'll just move over one and put me into the ECS because it's now 21 degrees in the cabin. So we're going to put on our ECS to both and we're going to bring that cabin temperature down a little bit. And now we can go ahead and turn on our air conditioning unit. We can see VCS is up and running. And once there's sufficient cool air, once we get airborne, this will really help. It'll bring down the temperature in the cabin. Again, we're flying, minding our cabin. So if we have a look at cabin comfort, they're happy out. 20 degrees, we got the fans on, they seem to be happy, all right? This is pre-recorded. Murph knew this would catch him out off guard if I didn't read the manual. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. All right, okay, so the rest of our V-speeds here, let's go over to this screen. That's all grand, that's all grand. Trims normal grand, flaps is set once we get up to the runway, external lights, and then we have our takeoff checklist ready to rock. So we're in here, I'm going to go into charts, and now this is displaying Navigraph charts. However, remember I said to you earlier on, well, you can change this. So this screen here, that's my Navigraph charts, that's Shannon, that's showing where I am. But if you don't have Navigraph, well, you come on down here to chart options, right? See this preferred source? We can change that to Lido charts, and then it'll load in the Lido charts that actually come with the sim. How cool is that, right? So you have the option of both, right? I use Navigraph, I love Navigraph, I'm going to use Navigraph, but if you don't have Navigraph, they got you covered. They got you covered, right? Hey, Linny, good to see you. All right, so happy enough with that with charts. These screens here, I'm happy enough. That bleed one, that's okay, that's correct, all right. Let me see, traffic alert system is currently off. We'll go back one here. TOS system, it says inhibited, so we'll see what happens once we start moving. So quick check up, we're going to go taxi light on, strobes currently off, cockpit panel, it's daytime. We will show you nighttime in a moment, all right. Initial altitude, we're going to set 9,000 feet. We're going to reset our barrow here as well. And we're going to get ourselves moving, all right. So everything here is looking good, bar the flaps. We will look after the flaps in a moment. Our passengers are sitting down, they seem comfortable, and all is looking well in the realm. I haven't killed anyone yet, this is going terribly well. Right, bit of power. And we have a bit of movement. So from here on in, we just enjoy some of the sounds and check out the aircraft during taxi. Now, very important, did I forget something? Oh yeah, pressurization mode goes to auto. Brilliant. Let's see what happens. This is the way to showcase the release this caliber. Great job. Thanks, Gibbo. Yeah, our V-speeds have already been put in. We can see that now in our PFD. All right. So we have all the information. No wind data yet. We're on the ground. And well, I'm just taxiing up here. We're going to go up to runway 24. So bit of a taxi, but hopefully you get an idea, right? You get an idea. Beautiful views. We got more things in here. We got some click spots. We got some sun visors. And hopefully you can see the reflections. I want to show you the nighttime lighting if I can, lads. Put on the strobes as well because they look gorgeous. So for nighttime, current time is 16:53. We'll remember that. And here is our nighttime lighting. Now we can up the ante here. Bring these guys up. Bring these guys up. And here we have now our internal lighting. The cabin lighting, couple of options. We can say to the passengers, we'll give you, Bijani, we'll give you the control. We can give you the control of the lighting, right? I've turned on the lads. Or we can control this ourselves. So if we go to this panel, we can scroll down here and presets, cabin reading lights. So we can do all of this. So preset, cinema lights, you know, if they want to be, you know what I mean? That's very, you know, for the passengers. But we can also change more of this and we can go to all the lights. So you get the idea. Now we can actually bypass that system if you want to say, hey, no, the passengers aren't allowed to do this. But we can deactivate this unit because we'll put this control inside to the cockpit. All right. Now in terms of temperature, yes, we can have our set point. There's a video and audio hub here. Now, it doesn't connect to anything yet, but I'm hoping it does in the future. Wouldn't that be just, wouldn't it? Right? And then you'll see the time remaining. Once we get airborne, it'll actually tell you how long it'll take before we get to our destination. How cool is that, lads? Right? So, external lighting. Beautiful nav lights, strobe lights. And these are just the taxi lights. Now, if we wanted all the lights on, make sure they're all on. Strobes, nav, landing. Right, there's all our lights. Isn't that superb lighting? See the 4 lights? How awesome is that, right? Like, it's gorgeous. It really, really is gorgeous. So mind your eyes, lads. We're bringing it back to the time of day for our scheduled departure. We'll call it here. And we continue on with our taxi. So the question is, have I spilled the beans yet, Murph? How much and when? Right, lads. What I want you to do, I want you to take a guess. Can you take a guess on the price? We'll start with that. What do you think FSReborn is going to sell this for? Jesus, loads of prices coming in. Some are very accurate. So this aircraft is going to release exclusively in the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 marketplace. It is a marketplace exclusive, and I can tell you the release price is for $39.99 US dollars. $39.99 US dollars. That means you're talking about €35 or about £30, roughly, depending on where all that is, right? Considering 39, yeah, 3999, yeah. You should really hear the trees from an Irishman. Tree, right? 39.99, and that includes the aircraft and the FBOs. The aircraft and the FBO. That's the package. That's what it comes with. All right. So, if that was a burning question you had, right? Next thing Rel will tell me, Murphy, you gobshite, it's 139. Could you imagine? Right? Jesus. When was the last time Murphy was seen? Don't know, but Raoul's chasing him. I'm getting an alignment there. That's interesting. So the question now is, when is the aircraft going to be released? I can tell you that the scheduled release of the aircraft is May 18th, tomorrow. The aircraft is due out tomorrow, Monday. Couldn't tell you what time. It's up to Microsoft when they release it. So the aircraft is due for release tomorrow, priced $39.99 US, exclusive to the InSim marketplace. How cool is that? Has it made your day? Made my day.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus, right? Right, we'll inspect more of the sounds here, will we? The time threw off the alignment. Very good, very good.
Hello there.
All right, lads, you're all very kind. Thank you so much for subscribing and following the channel. We get to do this sort of stuff every so often. Raoul is a tremendous friend of the channel, and myself. It's gas like in flight simming, right? Today is a day, right? Today marks the first year I transitioned into full time doing this, right? It was a year ago today. I looked an awful lot younger and I had less wrinkles, but this is when I transitioned into full-time content creation. But I've known Raoul for a number of years, and like I've met so many people from flight sim, from what we do, our community, and just people flying. I've made lifelong friends. It's absolutely incredible. And when you have, you know, community members and developers who are so passionate about their hobby, right? That could be the realism of the aircraft. It could be problems with the sim, right? All of these things. Everyone has a story, and it's been incredible learning those stories full time for the last year. We're streaming for a couple of years, but yeah, it was first year. But with this project in particular, Raoul came over to Dublin last November to give us a sneak peek, and that was just incredible. We got to see the inner workings of what he was building, and to see where it is now. We ran a beta on our own Discord to support another beta team that Raoul was using, and just to see the frequency of updates, the challenges that he had to do. And if you're if you're interested in that story, Adam Controls, thank you very much indeed. 10 gifted tier 1 subs to the community on Twitch. Adam, you're very kind. Cheers, bud. If you're interested on learning about the story behind this project, and of course of FSReborn, well, tune in on Wednesday night, next Wednesday at 1900 Zulu. We do the Flight Sim news, but Raoul has very kindly offered me invitation to come on and have a chat all about this aircraft. We're going to look at it in far more detail, far more depth, and we'll also get direct feedback from Raoul as well. So make sure you check that out. That's coming up on Wednesday, right? Now, let's see. That's on. Why does it say traffic? Let's see here now. Sensors, PFD settings. Wind should be set to option 2, which it is. That's grand. Back, PFD map settings, map layout, inset. We'll put in the inset map. I'm going to go back here because that's going to show my flight plan. That's what I want to see. Okay, flaps, we're going to be setting these for takeoff. And before we get going here, we have to press the takeoff configuration button. Are we actually okay to take off?
No takeoff. Trim.
So our trim is out, so we need to retrim the aircraft, right? So we're going to trim this up. I think to about 10 will do us. So a little bit of trim action. And then we'll test it again.
Takeoff okay.
Takeoff okay. We're good. Flaps are set, gears ready to rock. Walking, talking and squawking. And let's see what we can do. Flight director coming on. We've set an initial 9,000 feet. And let's see what happens. Passengers are still okay. Temperature's okay. All is looking good. Oh, isn't it pretty? Isn't it pretty? Now, for anyone who's wondering, I've had many issues crashing on takeoff. Just telling you now, right? Not with this aircraft, any aircraft. Alright, let's hold position. Now, we're running that aircon unit as we're flying, so we should be grand. So, final quick checks. We're looking good. Flight director is armed. We will go heading mode, just as a backup.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Be Janie then. And if we want, we can see our charts here. So I'm going to change that chart just so I'm watching it. So we go to charts. Let's look at our departure. We're on the Agena departure. Right. Alright. Okay, are we ready? Let's have a listen to the sounds. This thing, absolute rocket ship. Rocket ship, right? Right. Wish me luck. Power coming in. And disable. Take a power set. Speed live. Look at the speed. Oh, look at the speed. 50 knots. 80 knots. 100. D1. Yep, see Daisy. Pause, are ready to climb. Gear up. Alright, watch your speed.
High speed. High speed.
Easy
high
now.
Speed,
Easy
high
now.
Speed. High speed. High speed. High speed.
Right, flaps are in. There's no auto throttle with this aircraft yet. The real world version only got this as standard a couple of months ago. So there's a lack of actual kind of real world data, right? So FMS, Alt, we will go V speed. And just keep an eye on our speed. We're going to climb at about 3,000 feet a minute here. Now we can use flight level change as well, which will allow us to, the aircraft will pitch based on what it is we're trying to do, yeah? So we'll keep it at 250 here. We'll go ahead and bring that speed up. We'll go FMS speed or manual. So manual speed, we'll call it 250 knots. So we don't need to worry too much about our pitch now. So we'll call it 250 knots. We'll go flight level change, increase a small bit of power back into climb. And we're looking better. Transition level we need to worry about is going to be about 6,000 feet. And we're now following our flight pan. Have a look at our map here. Map settings. Inset, no. I don't want the VST in there. Map sync, leave it on. With the left hand side. Other, track, wind, altitude, that's okay. Terrain, context. Right, we're looking good. Okay, let's go to standard. Standard set. Wonder what's running on the background. Alright, so we're going to level off here at 9,000 feet. Watch your speed. And we'll up the owl altitude once again. Cruise level for this. What was that, my flight plan? And now. 230. So let's get the altitude up the road. We'll set it for 230. We'll once again go flight level change. That'll climb us like a devil. And it's going to be set 230. So speed needs to come down. We're going to drop the speed and call it 250 knots. There's our climb. How's our passengers doing? So far so good. Temperature inside the cabin also good. As we're approaching 10,000 feet, we can tell them to take off the seatbelts if they wish, right? So we'll come on down here. Seatbelt light is off. That's letting our passengers know. Again, this simulation with the passengers, if you don't want to use it, you don't need to use it. But it is just something else there. So we can see, right, what's going on in the cabin? Well, the cleanliness, it's fair, right? We can serve coffee or serve snacks. We can get an idea, you know, are they happy? Anders is excitedly asking Amika questions about flying. And Amika is graciously chatting with Anders. So they're happy with one another at the moment. They seem happy, right? So what we're going to do, they're not particularly hungry, thirsty, or they don't need the jacks, right?
Flight director.
And Murphy, that's how you break things. Up the hill, please. FMS autopilot yaw dampener V speed and 230, and we want 250 knots. Okay, con climb, and now flight level change. There we go. Needs more power, yeah. So yeah, your power settings are here. They're not gauged like an Airbus, as in, you know, there's no groove for them, so you just gotta keep an eye on them. And because this aircraft, it's manual flying so far as there's no auto throttle, it'll keep you on your toes. Absolutely keep you on your toes. So we've set 237 in the box. We're climbing at nearly 5,000 feet a minute. Let's bring it up to 250 knots. That'll shallow out our rate of climb, and all should look a little bit better. So we're going to say to the ladies and gentlemen, we're going to feed us here now in a moment. And we're going to say, well, look, let's serve them coffee. So now they're getting a cup of coffee. Amika sniffed the coffee suspiciously before accepting it. Jesus. Anders took a photo of the coffee before drinking it. Right? Brilliant. So if we go back down to them, on their tables, yep, there's cups of coffee gone out there. They're happy as a pig in the proverbial. But that's who we're flying, right? That's who we're flying. So we're above 10,000. These lights come off. And we're currently on a beautiful climb out here in the west of Ireland. Let's have a listen to the sounds here. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're backup coffees in case the first ones have a bug. That's exactly what it is. So if you're hearing any cloud sound clipping, that seems to be an issue I get every now and again with an AMD card. Sometimes it's perfect, sometimes I get a little bit of clipping. It's not with the aircraft, so just in case you hear it. Can the displays go brighter? Well, yes they can. We can control them from up on top, so we can brighten up the displays, or you keep them in auto. So the audio stutters, Dave, is purely from my setup, not the aircraft. I've had this issue with AMD before. Don't know what it is. The sim kind of has it, you know. If you'd like to know the release date and the price, rather than asking, just put in !release, all one word. That'll give you the information. So if you haven't already seen it, that's where you'll find it. So !release, and then you'll see it'll release tomorrow for $39.99 US. That's where it's coming from. All right. So we have a look here at our charts. We were messing around with these, so we can look at our en route page, I think. Let's see here now. Approach. Let's see here now. Charts, right? Info, approach, info. No. We want to go to Dublin next because that's the Echo India Delta Whiskey. And we're going to have a look at our arrivals. So we said we were on the Oscar 4 Lima. Oscar. And that loads them up in there. So that's the way we're going to ramble in. So we'll keep that chart up for the moment. We can also go to a map mode. Other things we can have a look at here. Charts, so we can actually have a look at the route map. And because we're using Navigraph, you can use the Navigraph maps, or you can use kind of like default stuff as well. So you can keep an eye on your flight here, you know. Again, keep an eye on our cabin comfort. They're happy out. It's not too cold. It's all right. Took the coffee, finally some service, so they're happy with that. And that's our 2 passengers. You have 7 passengers configuration on this aircraft. The real world aircraft, it's 7 as well, but it can be pushed to 10, depending on the configuration of the aircraft, or those flying it, or those operating it. Do you know? How about the Captain PA buttons? So we've got Captain PA buttons. We might be able to hear it a little bit better. I'll put on headphone simulation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our cruising altitude. You are welcome to move about the cabin. Enjoy the flight. And
you can change the voice of that. You have an option. You have male or female, right? So yeah, it's another feature you can do. Or you can tell them, you know, there's been an emergency on board. Finally some service, real coffee on a private jet, and like all these different remarks and things, they all change, right? Depending on the passengers you have on board and what's going on, right? So we can serve them some snacks now.
High speed, high speed, high speed.
Slow it down there now, Murphy.
High speed, high speed, high speed, high speed.
God bless the oral warning system.
High speed, high speed.
Right, we're okay there now, Jemima. Jesus. Sniff the coffee. Yeah, they still sniff the coffee. And yeah, so we served them snacks. So you should see now snacks on their desk, or on their table as we ramble back. And they have snacks. Coffee, snacks. A simple salad. She's gone for the chicken and rice with other things that are healthy, and, you know, you get the idea. All right. Easy there, Chief. Yeah, I was pushing the speed up something fierce. Again, there's no without the autopilot or without the auto throttle, it absolutely keeps you on your toes. And again, lads, what's amazing about all of this, it's all built from inside the friggin' SDK. The Sims SDK has done all of this, which is just incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So our focus, because we've brought passengers and we want to simulate this, that's what we're doing, right? Pretty cool. So roughly, as of today, now that might change. So the price for this aircraft is $39.99 US. That makes it about €35 or about £30, something like that. All right. Jordan, only the newest ones, I think from around January, had the auto throttle as default. I remember chatting to Raoul during the making of this. There just wasn't enough data out there for him to confidently model it and have it correct. Everything that's modeled in the aircraft, with the exception of just one sound that I've copped, Raoul knows about it. There's one sound, I think, when you turn on the batteries, you should get an oral warning system alert to say that it's working or not, right? They are aware of it, and it will be added in. But every system here, it's following the real aircraft. Legitimately follows. The simulation here is nuts. Do you know? It's absolutely incredible. So we're looking at this here aircraft. We can see outside temperature, fuel temperature. Fuel temperature is a thing, right? So you need to be aware of all of that. There's modeling in here. On just a next level. Fuel temperature is modeled. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. What do we think so far though, lads? Are we liking it? Colonel Four, good to see you. Yeah, dude, I agree. I mean, when you see this level of complexity using the default SDK, it's incredible. It's incredible. Very impressed, been here since the trailers. Man, Grizzle! Don't like the look of the cockpit compared to the Phenom. Interesting. It's the same cockpit. I mean, this is the 300E. There are some slight changes between the 300 and the 300E. But yeah. Like, I think the layout with this, like the speed it's capable of doing, we can get up to flight level 450. I think Mach decimal 0.8 or decimal 8. It's a very pretty airplane. And, you know, it's not hollow so far as you have all this additional simulation running as well, be it with your passengers, but also on the maintenance side, the wear and tear of the aircraft. Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, forgot. Jeez, Raoul killed me. Right, hang on there now. In the background, we're going to do something. Diddly-dee-dee-dee. Okay, so we're getting a warning here. She said something about track. Now, it was there for an instant and then it went away again. Effectively what this is, if your rudder is not aligned, you're going to get kind of like an out of gauge warning. Right? You get an out of gauge warning. So what I want to do here is the following. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Hello there.
Okay, so I think this will work. Bear with me, lads, as I press buttons here in the background to make it look like I know what I'm actually doing. Let me see here. We will say 30 minutes. Airplane is flying. Let's leave it alone. Don't misspell. Okay. We're pressing buttons here to rate knots. Right, lads. So, what we have for today's stream, with thanks to FSReborn, we get to do a giveaway. All right, we're giving away one of these aircraft, and to enter, anyone can enter. All you need to do is ramble over to our Discord, !Discord. Once you get into Discord, you'll land at an arrivals page, right? You click on the Shamrock, start here, click on the Shamrock, that opens up the server to you. You now have access to the entire server. And just come down to where it has TTM community and you'll see giveaway. Inside the giveaway channel, there's a little party popper. Click on that party popper thingy and that will enter you into the giveaway. We'll announce the winner in 30 minutes. So for your chance to win a copy of the FSReborn Phenom, all you need to do is head on over to our Discord. Once you're there, head on over to the TTM community, and the giveaway channel is the first channel inside the community, and you just click on the little party popper icon just there. If you try and enter and it doesn't work, try again. It will work. It will work. Do you know? Jesus, I could have broken something, Gimmo. We'd be grand. We'd be grand. Right, now. So we should be good, right? Unusual join activity. Yeah. It's the way to get in. But a massive shout out to Raoul for that. For giving us a copy to give away. Absolutely incredible stuff. Now, I wonder, do we have a disco here? No, we don't. So we need to start planning our descent here. So we need to program in 8,000. Now, we can use VNav at this as well. Absolutely. It's in our flight plan. But I'm just going to do this manually just for the moment. So we're going to key in 8,000 feet. We're going to go into vertical speed. We're going to drop the nose down and ease off the speed. And we're going to descend here at around 2,000 feet a minute. While we're doing this, how's our passengers doing? They seem happy out. We're going to let them know we've started our descent. And let's see what happens. All right. So Discord, ! Discord. It's discord.gg/TwoToneMurphy. That's where you get it. All right. It has gone mental. Yeah. Pan to the co-pilot near the bottom of the deck. are those charts.
Hello there.
The bottom of the deck are those charts. Well, you've charts here, so that's reading the charts coming in from Navigraph. You can change that to Lido charts if you want, if you wish. It doesn't have to be just Navigraph. All right. Thank you very much indeed. Does the you can move it. You can move this any old way you want. Murph, I'll give you $49.99 if you fix it and I'll win. Yes, lads. It's marketplace only. Marketplace only. You should be able to change the dual queue flight director, says Jordan. I'm not sure, Jordan, but again, if it's something that Rel might be able to explain to us on Wednesday. Like, I'm a flight simmer, lads. I'm not a real world pilot. I've flown in real aircraft. I have a couple of hours on a PPL, but I'm not a real world pilot. My enjoyment with flight simming is going to be very similar to most. I just enjoy it. I love aviation. I'm very passionate about when people are doing things that make our experience better in the sim. I get very excited for that, and I like supporting anyone who does that, right? My own limitations when it comes to specific aircraft systems, even procedures. I'm a flight simmer, right? I'm not for a second am I going to say, well, I've said do it this way. Not at all. There are certain aircraft that demand you look at the manual, and they demand that you do need to give them a little bit of attention. However, what FSReborn have done here, if you're not one to spend time reading manuals, they actually come with an FAQ directly in, right? And not only that, but when it comes to tutorials and whatnot, you can access a number of tutorials with the aircraft as well. Let me see, I think they're on a page here. Where can I find documentation? Here, these are all videos that have been made on behalf of FSReborn, that you can just scan these with your phone, and as you're flying it, you can get in and learn out all the stuff. You know what I mean? No, it's okay, Muse. I think it's okay. Lads, I will say, just on that giveaway channel, if you wouldn't mind terribly, just maybe holding off putting in comments. Just think of new folks who are coming in. They'll be scrolling all the way back up the road to click it, right? If you wouldn't mind, I just want to make it easier for those rambling in. So just remember, lads, there is a giveaway going on in there. And yeah, the very best of luck to everyone who entered. I'm not saying you can't comment in there. I'm just saying, just be aware. We must rig this as much as possible. Right, Man Grizzle. Right, how's our passengers doing? Extremely excited. Photographed the snack platter. Accepted the snack with an air of mild disappointment. Right, she's a devil, that one, isn't she? So we'll see what happens. So how are we looking? We're at 250 knots, descending now down through 15,000. The good news here is the arrival into Dublin, it's massive. So we have a bit of time here just to keep an eye on it here, right? So as we are continuing to descend, we'll stick some lights on. We're going to tell our passengers to fasten their seatbelts. And I'm going to clean the cabin now, put away all the snacks, and we're going to clean the cabin. So the cabin has now been fully cleaned. Good girl Greta, she went back there, and I'm sure we're able to just remove all of these things now. I wonder will they disappear when I close the yoke? Yeah, they will. Grand. So the cabin has been cleaned. You'll notice the likes of cushions, and there's no rubbish on the ground. You'll see what happens, which is brilliant, The airport will be full of Westmead fans, right? Miserable passenger. Yeah, ailerons, right? To change the flight director thing, it's in the PFD settings. I can't remember what it is. It says Benzie. Okay, so the flight director you can change. Well, PFD, terrain, data link settings, weather overlay. This is all the default working title stuff. But if there is a way to change it, yeah, I'm sure you can change it. PFD settings, detailed traffic, terrain, map layout, HSI. We can change here as a HSI map. Not map settings. Okay. Terrain. Oh, PFD. What did I press? Map. Beg your pardon. PFD settings. PFD mode. Other settings. Wind. Altitude units. Attitude overlays. Synthetic vision if you wanted. Horizon heading. Other. Wind, altitude units are back. PFD mode. PFD settings. Go back. I like it in that one. It's in the system settings in the center. PFD settings. Can you hide the oaks? Yeah, you can hide the oaks. You surely can. You're thinking the G1000? Okay, sync the heading bug. Yeah, oh, good man, look, give it out to me, look. Where is my heading bug? Around here. Right, we'll sync that. So we're descending, coming down on 10,000 feet. They're not happy. Look at this. They're hungry. Jesus. They're giving out to me. Could really use that amazing free drink right about now. Oh, we're landing. They're going to give me a terrible review. Listen. Sit back there now and be quiet. Oh, is there a vertical profile? No, working title, haven't got that model yet. This VSD doesn't work yet. That's a working title thing. On a very short flight as well. Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? Right, let's go back into here. I'm going to keep an eye on the aircraft systems now. So we got status. On this side, we'll go environmental. And that's all looking good. Don't crash sim. We'll see what happens. So we set 8,000 on this initial run in. So far, so good. Okay, so let's have a look. Want to get down to 7,000 now. So continue our vertical speed. And this will bring our speed down as well. I'll fly the Honda Jet in the sim since they shared the G3000. This will be easy to learn. Brandon, yeah, nice. So if you'd like to join our giveaway, lads, ! Discord. That will link you to our Discord. And once you get into our Discord, just go into where it has the TTM community tab, and just under it, you'll see giveaway. Once you enter the giveaway channel, just click on the little party popper gadget thingy there. All right? So the very best of luck, and a massive thank you to Raoul and FSReborn for giving us a giveaway. It's very kind. In the FMC, tap home at the touchscreen, navigate to utilities, setup, avionics screen. Under the systems tab, locate the flight director or flight director active format. Look for dual core. Okay, we'll give it a blast. So we're saying navigate to utilities. We'll go into setup, avionics setup. Under the system, flight director format, single or dual. Would you prefer dual? There's our dual. Right, nicely done. Well spotted, Benzie. Great job. Excellent. Stop telling everyone. My chances of winning are being diminished. Sorry. All right, we're now at 7,000 feet. We're following in this approach nicely. And ILS frequencies and all the jazz. Com and... let me see here now. For nav... Let's see what we can do here. So audio, radio, nav. So 11135 should be the ILS. Not that we really need an ILS, but we can dial it in. 11135 is in, and they're all dialed in, so make sure they're turned on. Nav 1. Super duper. Watch the speed. Yeah, watch the speed. This aircraft, it does not like low speed, you can imagine, but it doesn't behave terribly well at a low speed, you know? I'd be interested if the Honda Jet would be compatible, says Robert. Yeah, good question, buddy. Good question. All right, so we're on a long old road here on this approach. Usually in Dublin, you rarely fly the full approach. Rarely. You could do it, but you rarely have to fly it. So that's what we're doing here now. So we're on this line up here, look. So 7,000 max 220 knots. You know. So we should be all right. We'll see what happens. What runway length do you need for this? So you'll find that in the technical kind of breakdown. Also, when it comes to sim brief, FSReborn have created a custom sim brief profile that you can add to your own sim brief. So you'll see saved airframes, and we have this one here, the Phenom 300E, and we can have a look at it, plan with that aircraft, and see what the crack is. So FSReborn have built this with the actual numbers based on this machine, and you can add that to your own fleet, meaning you'll always have it then when you're planning your Simbury flights. That's available over on the FSReborn Discord as well. All right, so if you want to know where the FSReborn Discord is, that's a link there to the FSReborn Discord. That's where you can ask for, you know, support, technical support, any questions you might have. You know, can we turn off the black space on the map? Yes. Now, when you say black space on the map, can you be more specific? Oh, where yes. So you can see here, right? If we go back to map, even on this screen, VSD is not available, so we can go into our map settings and change how the map looks like. Do you know what I mean? So that's how you would do it there. Okay, passengers. Yeah, they're just not happy about life at all. Before landing, checklist, please. Oh yeah, we should have done that as well. Right hand side screen, and we'll go to checklists. Diddly dee diddly dee. Before takeoff, did all them. After takeoff, did all those. Descent, windshield 1 and 2, they're already on. Actually, I didn't turn them on. It's not cold though. Where is this now? Fasten seatbelt sign is on. External lights as required. Crossfeed is off. Altimeter set. We're not low enough. Windshield 1 and 2 as required. We don't need them. Yaw dampener will be coming off, and then we go with flaps. So, yep. Your stream passengers are all happy. That's what counts. Thank you, PC Happy. Dublin looks a lot better with the scenery installed, right? Okay, so we're heading up to our second to last waypoint, and then it's going to be direct pizza. So we're going to drop now 3,000 feet. Easy. As I said, any kind of stutters I see, it's on my side, so hopefully it doesn't upset us too much. So we're going to go V-speed. We're going to drop the nose. We're going to start a descent. Altitude path, yeah.
Vertical track.
Okay, so her vertical track is not happy, but we can go direct to, which will fix it. So 3,000 is set, VNAV, and if we start going direct, drop it 1,000 feet a minute, and in our flight plan page, come back one here, flight plan, we can do a direct to pizza. So if we were to go direct PIZ SA, PIZ SA, enter, direct pizza, activate. So straight to pizza, what's our speed? Okay, lights are on. We'll start looking after flaps and all the jazz here now in a moment. We're going to turn direct to pizza and see what happens. Isn't it gorgeous? The performance is excellent, Benzie. It really is. It's terribly pretty. Yes, I think the range of this aircraft is about 2,000 nautical miles, give or take. Yeah, I'm using chase plane, yeah. Yeah, well, I find it lighter than the Phoenix. Like, I mean, I'm running a 5090. There's over 200 FPS. Like, it's this is behaving like any other aircraft, really. Like, there's nothing in terms of this that I'm seeing on the performance drops or, you know, stuttering or any of that. I haven't come across any of that, even with the FBOs. You know, it's a tad bit faster than the 100. Yeah, yeah. So, like, the range anywhere in Europe, it could cross the pond, but you'd be limited. Like, you'd want to be going kind of, you know, Shannon to maybe like Newfoundland or something, right? but certainly up to about 2,000 nautical miles, no issue at all, no problem. And a good prevailing wind, maybe, you know. Are the flight manuals available now? I'm not quite sure. I think so. Maybe Raoul will chime in. He did say tomorrow. But yeah. 2,010 nautical miles with IF4 reserves, 5 occupants. Yeah, tomorrow for the manual, guys. A couple of things need to be done. And it, you know, let's get everything done together, and then the release will come out. But I can tell you, like, jumping into the aircraft first time, it's designed to be somewhat user friendly. It's quite intuitive. It's designed to be a single pilot operation aircraft, right? So you can jump in and have fun with it. If you're going to jump in and, you know, if you don't want any of the consequence, this is where you would turn things off in the realism settings, right? If you just don't want those problems, all right? Another thing then as well, persistent covers will go a lot more into the depth of what these systems and features actually do on Wednesday, because to get that idea or to get that insight from Raoul, how he designed all of this, it's mind-boggling, and it's just pretty cool. So we'll chat more on this on Wednesday. But if you don't want any if you don't want any of the consequence, you don't need it. You can turn it all off. If you absolutely want consequence, turn them all on. You turn them on, right? So you have all these options. So our poor LPAT, they're not happy about life at all, but sure, listen, they'll be all right. Now, we need to keep an eye on our speed. We're coming down to 3,000 feet, and we are at our initial approach fix. So we'll see how all this starts to behave. Reset your barrow.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
We'll reset our barrow. And now we ramble in. Runway 28. Avoid Crow Park, yeah. I can tell you this, like, from my flying this aircraft, you know, people would see a business jet, and you know, I'd be kind of the same. But like, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a tool. It suddenly becomes a tool to say, well, here's a long route. Well, I'll take a business jet because I'm going to have the speed. Or, you know, maybe the airspace is going to be ridiculously busy online. Well, I'll pick an aircraft not as complex as, say, you know, a multi-engine airliner. With this aircraft, it changes that dynamic, because this can be as easygoing or as absolutely nuts. It depends on you. It depends on you.
I've been drinking like a mad idiot.
Right, so we're on approach. Speed is coming down. We're going to switch off the old yaw dampener. And we just need to have a little bit of help when it comes to our speed here. So we're going a little bit fast. We can deploy flaps here in a moment. But I suspect that's going to be a little bit fast. Yeah. She doesn't like that. So we're going to take it out of autopilot. And I'm going to hand fly this. I'm going to shallow out our rate of descent because I want to get that speed down. Then we'll go flaps, then we'll go gear, and then we'll see what we can do. So keep the nose up here a little bit. Speed starting to drop, that's what we want. Easy does it now. We're going to be a little behind the approach, but we should be okay.
High speed. High speed.
We're just there for the first notch of flaps, 180 knots. That will drop us down. Once we get down to about 160, gear, and then increase our rate of descent. Easy, easy, easy. Alright, gear come down. Second notch of flaps. And let's just see, can we recover this? 150 on approach. We're way too high, but let's just see if we can correct this a little bit. We have a lot of drag, so I'm hoping we can get back onto this glide slope. Watch your speed. Easy. And this is where the thing becomes, it can become a challenge. As I said, it's easy to operate, but if you really want to dial in getting those exacting procedures, you know, pitch 10 degrees at this power setting, with this, you know, with these flap settings, all this kind of stuff, it does take a little bit of time. You know, nothing that's going to keep you on the ground wondering how you got there, but yeah, just invert it. Okay, speed is looking a little bit better. We've recovered the situation. Passengers aren't going to be happy about that. Their ears would have popped many times.
400.
All right, watch your speed on approach. Little low. See if we can correct this.
300.
300 feet inside. Trying to hold about 140 knots. And now we need to fight against that
Dreamy,
nose wheel
sleepy,
dropping.
nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Who pressed that button?
Glide slope.
All right, look,
Minimums.
that's okay.
Minimums.
That's okay.
Minimums. Minimums. Flight director.
All right. Right, watch the float, because you can float this, right? There's a float. 300 feet a minute? Jesus. Easy now. Keep it on the straight and narrow. There's a decel. When our passengers give out, this is when I'll tell them, and that's why we didn't serve you coffee. Okay, manual braking's done. Flaps coming in. And we'll exit here at Sierra 6. Or Sierra, yeah, Sierra 6. Listen, it wasn't that bad. 300 feet, you know.
Jesus.
Michael O'Leary is watching this. I know what he's saying. See that Murphy fella? He'll go far in a career with us. Okay, under control. And easy does it. Welcome to Dublin. We'll inspect. We'll inspect the damage here now in a second. 2IC take over. No, we're okay. Nothing fell. There's nothing broken. What did my passenger say? Applauded enthusiastically after touchdown. Is not used to wait. Very pleased with the smooth arrival. Well, can I just say, lads? I mean, listen. Where would you get it, huh? Well done, Murphy. You know, brilliant. It'd be grand. Just Preston, it releases tomorrow. Today was just a preview to give you guys just beyond the trailers, and hopefully I've achieved that today. Hopefully you guys, this has helped, you know, in your decision-making process. If you're going to pick up the aircraft, it's, you know, there's an advantage to see the thing as it is. Outside that of trailers as well. So hopefully this has been somewhat useful to you. And if it's not, you can shag off. Right, brilliant. Any landing you can walk away from. Yeah. Or crawl, you know, or crawl. So that face of Murphy accidentally leaks the URL for the manual. I didn't. I've been very good. It made me put my credit card into the microwave. Right. If you're not going to buy it yet, please see yourself out, right? What a landing. Thanks, Daza. Yeah, I'm proud of that. So we're at Dublin, so we can ramble over to the LVIP terminal. Taxi lights are on. Keep the strobes on. We need to cross the runway. And we'll shut it all down and we'll have a look at how it behaved. We have 4 minutes left in our giveaway, ladies and gentlemen. For your chance to win a copy of this aircraft, just head on over to our Discord, !Discord. Jesus. Raoul, oh mother did you just, is that breaking me computer? It's now lagged. Raoul from FSReborn, did you just see what he did? Mother of 50, what did he do? What have you done? 50 tier 1 subs going out to the community here on Twitch. Lads. Raoul, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Raoul from FSReborn, well, do be sure to say thank you. What an amazing guy. Amazing support. Thank you very, very much indeed, buddy. Absolute ledge. Absolute ledge. Tomorrow, VATSIM will be full of Phenoms. The skies are going to be full of Phenoms. Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree. It's going to be so busy. Now we're going to turn off the air conditioning. Fans are off. Was there a giveaway? There currently is a giveaway. You have 2 minutes. ! Discord. Go into our Discord. Go under TTM community. Go into giveaway. and click on the party gadget. That's phenomenal, Colonel Vork. Phenomenal. Also, we're going to be checking out more stuff this week. One of our very own, PH Roy. Roy has made a little freeware gadget. And what this gadget does, it will automatically save all your control profiles, right? All your control profiles, meaning it'll tell you if they're the right ones, they're the old ones, and if the sim, for whatever reason, deletes them, you got them somewhere safe. So we'll be checking that out on Wednesday as well. Head on over to our Discord, you'll see information there. PH Roy has made a number of different gadgets that enhance your sim. So yeah, do be sure to check it out. It's from PH Roy, and it'll ramble over to our Discord, you'll see it. Pretty cool, right? So we have a minute left. A minute left for the giveaway, lads. He is excited. Also, thanks, Gibbo. I wouldn't have seen it. Right, I think it's over this neck of the woods somewhere. I think. But lads, I hope you can see from this the amount of work, how many late nights Raoul does. I couldn't tell you. And I thought I do late nights. Like, genuinely, I thought I'm always the one up to like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Raoul is usually still online at 4 or 5 o'clock in his morning, and then he goes to work all day, and then he comes back and he does more of this. What an achievement. What an achievement. Like, consider that the aircraft, the FBOs, the project itself, and it's all done inside the native SDK of the sim. It's quite staggering. It's unbelievable, in fact. So massive congratulations to Raoul, and also the very, very best success with the sale of this aircraft. I've flown it here today. Hopefully, the emotion, hopefully you guys can see just how fun it is, right? How fun it is. So we're now stopped. Lights. We're now going to start our process of shutting this machine down. Ground operations, we'll ask them to put in the chocks. We're going to ask them for the GPU. Plug us in. Air conditioning unit is off, and now we bring down the aircraft. And Jesus, we bring down the aircraft engines. Roy, absolute mad devil. Thank you very much indeed. Just Roy, Jesus. Thank you very, very much indeed. 10 gifted subs coming in here on Twitch between Roy and Raoul and everyone else. Lads, thank you very, very much indeed. You're very kind and I very, very much appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Legend stuff, lads. Legend. Right, let's shut this down. So engine 2, start, stop. We'll go stop. Lovely. And we'll go on to our, let me see here, we'll go over here. And we want to show the electrical side. So GPU is connected, we can now turn it on. And we'll bring down engine 1. All right, all right. So the giveaway has concluded, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on. So, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of our giveaway goes to the Slick One. The Slick One. Congratulations, buddy. Well done. And, dude, fantastic. Congratulations. Just drop me a message on Discord. Drop me a DM. We'll get that arranged for you when the aircraft releases. It's great seeing everyone else saying congratulations too. There's no one bitter. I love that. Thank you, guys. Very kind. And yeah, the Slick One is now the new owner of a shiny Phenom 300E from FSReborn. Congratulations. Thank you so much to everyone taking part. Jesus. Thank you so much for taking part in our giveaway on Discord. Massive shout out to Raoul and FSReborn. Absolutely incredible support. And then Eddie Games. Eddie, thank you very much indeed. 5 gifted tier 1 subs to our viewers here on Twitch. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub from Eddie, do be sure to say thank you. Incredible support. Thanks a million. Right, airplane has been shut down. So at this stage, we have the chocks. We're going to open the cabin door. And we can tell the passengers to seatbelts off. And if we go to our cabin comfort, overall flight score 62. Touchdown, they were happy. Appreciated the full cabin facilities. They loved the smooth landing. Captain made a descent announcement. Anders made Emika laugh with a story. Below the standard I would expect, says Anders. Disappointing. Well, they can check off. Don't fly with us again. Yeah, right. So we can dismiss that, and now we're going to say, okay, let us deboard the passengers. So we can say unload in real time. And again, same story. We can change the vehicle, give them a van because we're in Dublin, and we'll go to ground ops. And we're going to say unload the aircraft in real time, and you'll see fuel don't need. Passengers, they're going to hop out there now, and then we're going to await the vehicles to pick them up. And good luck in the cup. Our job now. We can go in and have a look at the maintenance, and we'll have a look to see is everything okay with the aircraft. We can go to the pre-flight or status page. Everything here says okay, so I haven't completely broken anything, right? But if we go into if we go into maintenance, we'll see more information. So let's say our tires 96%, so our rear tires were actually 98% when we departed, so you can kind of see where the run-in happens, right? And where wear and tear is very much alive with this aircraft. We can also go in and check the battery status and how many hours I've been running on the batteries. We can check the same for that VCS unit. We minded it, right? Now, if you want to do something very Murphy, I'll show you, right? So we're ground up, so waiting for transfer. Be about a minute. There's a vehicle on the way. That'll appear somewhere in the scenery. We'll see a van start driving towards us. There it is over there. See the van in the distance? If we look out this window, we'll probably see it. Look, they closed the shades. They'll actually close the shades themselves if they're warm. If they're too hot on the ground, them shades will close. The passengers actually do that themselves. Isn't that friggin' nuts, isn't it? So there's a man in a van going to collect our passengers here. So well done, and first time flying. Well done. Well done, right? But I want to show you one other thing, just to show you there is consequence, right? So let's say, for example, I stick my engine covers back on. You see the engine covers, right? Now I'll skip the passenger simulation. We're going to cancel all that. We're going to unload instantly. Passenger, they're all gone now, right? So let's just pretend the aircraft is, I won't say cold and dark because we still have temperature in our engines, right? But I want to show you something here. I've reapplied the engine covers. And I want to show you, this is what happens if you act the Aegis and you don't think about what you're doing, right? So I'm going to try and start the right engine. Are you ready for this now? 1, 2. Have a look at that right engine. Keep an eye on the right engine. You see what happened? The engine cover just got ingested into the engine, and I've just... Well, it's about $1.5 million worth of damage. These are the things you can forget. Also, the gear pin. If you don't remove the gear pin and you take off, you can't raise the landing gear. You're stuck because the gear pin is still in it. So again, there is consequence there if you want it, right? I now need to go into maintenance. So you can see here, yeah, we have a problem, engine problem, maintenance, engine. Let's see here now. That's generator. Engine management. Where is this now? Hydraulic pumps, engine management. It's completely shagged. And you'll see it here on the screen. So we now need to fully overhaul, and then our engine status is now okay. Isn't that mad? Engine 2. This should now be all okay, and you can see that our covers have now been wrong engine. Yeah. You can see it though. It's repaired the engine. The covers are now active once again. Isn't that mad? You can do all of these things and more Yeah, an awful lot more, right? That's just one type of failure that you can have in the aircraft. Something else I want to show you real quickly. Let me see. If we go to ground ops, we'll remove those tie down, or the engine covers, right? And we can see we'll get the pitot flags, pitot covers. So at the moment it's relatively calm. There's no wind, right? But if we change this, right? Let's bring the wind up. And we'll change the direction of the wind. So the wind is now blowing at the rear of the airplane, yeah? So you can see that going out. Oh wait, I turned it around. Hang on. Wind this way. Okay, that's the front. There's the back. We'll go westerly. Right now, Betsy, you can do it. So we have wind now blowing, right? If we try and start the engines with the wind blowing into the engines, this could be catastrophic. Could be, depends. Okay, it didn't like that. Okay, there's a start. Look at the IGT, look. See the IGT? All problems. And why is that? Engine exceedance. Now the FADEC controls that so it doesn't explode, but that exceeded because there's wind blowing in the back of the friggin' engine. So it'll I don't know how much of a save it'll do with the engine, but again we go into maintenance, right? And we check engine here. We have a warning to say engine exceedance or exceedance, right? Was that engine 2 again? Battery, engine. So same story again. We need to get in and fix it because it is broken. Yeah, it is broken. So perform maintenance on the engine, or we'll fully fix it. We fully fix the engine. That problem's now gone away. And how to get around that? You might say, well, Murph, how are you going to start the engine if the wind is blowing that way? You got to physically move your aircraft. You got to push it back, man. You got to get it out of that position of the wind. It helps if you select the right engine, yeah. But listen, you know I'm an idiot, right? But that's just to show you, again, just some of the features. That's only some of the features, all right? So there's consequence. If you don't want any of that, you turn it off. And then you can start the thing up whenever or however you like. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's there's loads of things you can do. And brake. And, you know, not be happy, and passengers not be happy. There's a lot of stuff going on here. We're going to dive more into this on Wednesday because Raoul will be joining us live on the stream. We can actually talk about all this stuff and how it works and why it works. So yeah, it comes with 27 liveries, and we work for community artists, which will have lots out tomorrow. Yeah, you'll see all the liveries tomorrow. The one I'm using, it's one of the default ones. As I said, you can put in your own tail number, right? Murph just spent $3 million in 5 minutes. Yeah, impressive, you know. But question Hermit something is asking, maybe Raoul can answer that one. Does Control E start the plane? Does that work? Yes, but better to stop realism if you want that. Okay, so if you do want to use the Control E for an auto startup, the recommendation is turn off the realism settings. Is that fair enough? And you know, as I say, there's other things like the electrical failures, general that's hydraulic, flap, bird strikes. You can get a bird strike in this, right? Persist covers, basically it'll remember where your covers were on and off. Your engine, hot starts, oil changes, all that jazz, the landing gear, or you can turn them off. And then you have random failures. You can have one every 100 hours, you can have one every hour, or you could have one every 200 hours. That's up to you. You customize that experience that you want. All right, I think I've covered everything here between our pre-flight, our flight plan, chart interaction, the ground operations, which is pretty cool. Call the fuel truck, call the passenger vehicle. the cabin comfort, right? Maintenance then, realism, the FAQ section. That's all built into the EFB, and then your settings then at the end. If you remember the FSR 500, it also has these action cameras. So for example, if I can turn on the auto position EFB, I'm unsure will this work with chase plane, or yeah, it probably won't actually. Aircraft exit. So if I were to change now the door, yeah, it probably doesn't work with chase plane. Usually what happens is the camera will automatically flick to that area to show you the animation. But my understanding is it doesn't work with chase plane, and it doesn't work in VR. Yes, there is noise reduction, headset simulation. That works, so that's accessible through the EFB, and you can control all your sounds, your interior, engine, interior and exterior, the environmental wind noises, cabin rattles. You can customize all of that to your heart's content, and then you have the aircraft wear and tear speeds, so you can, you can. Whatever challenge you want, you can put it in there, you know. Release date is tomorrow. Releasing tomorrow. Officially exclusively on the Microsoft Flight Sim marketplace. So yeah. And then you have all the EFB stuff. And again, if you're wondering about the EFB, and you might say, right, Murph, oh look, that's the camera it just put me to. That's interesting. I'm here at Dublin, which is Payware. This is MK Studios Dublin. If I wanted to, right, we can go into FSReborn here. It'll open up a map. I can click on an empty space on the map, and I'm going to put in a small executive FBO. There it is. Let's move it a little bit closer to our plane. There it is here now beside us. Let's see, can we turn the devil around so it's facing us? I imagine that's the front. Or maybe that's the front and the hangar's out the side. We'll do that. And we can move it across a little bit more. Just to give you an idea of how this works. And here's our own building. And the FBO will be saved there. Yes, this will be saved there for you. So you can see how easy this is. Literally load it in and away you go. So this is the small FBO. And because Jeppesen is a legend, behave. We have a hot tub, right? And again, you have the option of, the small, the medium size, the large size. It's pretty cool what you can put in here. And then you have your hangar. So if you want to get very complicated, we can do something like that, I think. And now there's our airplane inside our FBO. Isn't it deadly, isn't it? It's just class. And then if we're looking at our FBO, we can say, right, well, hang on a second. Can we make this look all terribly futuristic and nice? If we change the time of day, right? And then we can open up our FSReborn menu system. We can click on this FBO. And we can use our options here. And we can look at all our different animations. So let's open the hangar doors. We can turn off the lights if we want. So I want the hangar doors open. I want the entries open. Balcony door. The blinds. You might say, what? See the blinds here? So blinds raised. Like, isn't that absolutely nuts? Like, isn't that nuts, lads, isn't it? Right? And this is all part of the product. This entire FBO feature comes with the product. And here you go. It's your very own space inside the simulated world, and you have access now. And you can see it looks at the it's looking at the clock. Look, we can change the time of day. Right? Like it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And this is just one of the FBOs. Do you like it? In the class, isn't it? Windy inside. Yeah. Yeah, you can walk around as an avatar. There's no click spot on the door, Raoul, isn't there? Or is there? No, so we need to open the door. Open the door! Like, need I say any more, lads? Isn't it brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant. It's your FBO, man. It could be your house. This could be your house. And again, you can share this. You can share this with other Phenom pilots, and it's just nuts. It's just nuts. Think of the fun you can have, right? You know, you can get everyone to fly from your FBO and say, right, lads, we're going to whatever country and we're going to land at this guy's FBO. And they can use their own custom liveries as well, their custom logos. So you're now landing at their custom FBO. Isn't that amazing?
Hello there.
Like, it's just absolutely incredible, you know. So the aircraft is due to release tomorrow. Over on the Microsoft Flight Sim Marketplace, and one at CAGS, Malky. Exactly, man. That's what's exactly. You know. So here we are in our very own FBO at Dublin Airport, and look at it. Isn't it amazing? Like, look at it. It's absolutely savage looking. You gotta love it, lads. Marketplace only, yes. Marketplace only. Yeah. Roy. You can put one at 1 kilo, Colonel Fork. Yes, we can. That'd be so funny. It's lads, it's awesome. And again, I haven't seen this before in a flight sim. This is just kind of the next level of what can be done, and it's all from inside the SDK. You know, it's default SDK here. Raoul built all of this using the tools that Microsoft have in the sim. It's quite amazing when you think about it. So the release schedule for this, it will release on PC first. The plan is to go to console, yes, but the initial release is on PC. Just make sure everything's running exactly the way it needs to be. If any kind of patches need to be done. Then you have FS Expo that Raoul is attending. So after all of that, then the process begins for console. But the plan is, yes, it will be coming to console, but not straight away. Not straight away. But yeah, Jack, yeah, no, it does, and surpasses it in a lot of ways, because you can inject buildings. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's incredible. The aircraft is beautiful. It looks great. It sounds great. There's a depth of systems there if you want them, and of course, then you have the features of being, you know, a business jet pilot. You got to look after your passengers. You got to make sure the aircraft is fueled up. There's maintenance, there's wear and tear, there's all of these things. Plus the aircraft handles and flies beautifully well. Again, we'll chat about this on Wednesday. Raoul had the input from real world operators of this aircraft, and their feedback directly influenced how the plane is delivered. You know what I mean? So yeah. So lads, it's releasing tomorrow. Couldn't tell you what time. It's a Microsoft Flight Sim release on their marketplace. Do be sure to show your support to FSReborn. The price for this aircraft is $39.99 US. That's about £30 Great British Sterling, or about €35, give or take. All right. Can you have multiple FBOs? Yes. Yeah. So if I save this now, Gibbo. Well, it is saved. I can now go back to Shannon, and my FBOs are still in Shannon. I'll show you. I'll do this briefly, right? So I'm going to finish this flight, right? Actually, if I just do a restart, this will throw us back into Shannon. So that means now if I go to Shannon, my FBOs are going to be there. And if I go back up to Dublin, my FBO is going to be there. It's saved to the aircraft. So yeah, dude, I mean, you can go hatchet on this. Hatchet. You know, I don't even know, is there a limit to the number of FBOs you can have? You know? So here's Shannon loading in. Right? And here's our buildings back at Shannon. I must have messed with the elevation here. Hang on, we'll fix these, because they seem a little bit low. There we go. On this one. There we go. That was strange, wasn't it? So here's our buildings at Shannon. Can you load into another aircraft and still have the FBO? Negative. The FBO feature is locked to that aircraft. It's locked to the aircraft. So if you're not flying in the Phenom 300E, you're not going to see the FBOs. It's loaded with the aircraft. Whether or not that changes in the future, who knows? This is the first time we've seen anything like this from Microsoft Flight Sim. It's blown my mind, you know, the work that's gone into this. And a shout out to Jeppesen 2001, who has worked on this project with Raoul. It is something very unique to us as flight simmers. We've never had this ability before. This opens up all sorts of doors when you think about it, of what might be possible, what buildings might be you know, the sky's the limit here, lads, you know. So yeah, very interesting to see what might come of this project. Which is, you can have multiple at one single airport. You can have multiple FBOs at multiple airports. Do you know? Kind of cool, isn't it? Kind of cool. This is cool. This is cool. So, release date is tomorrow. Yeah. Release date is tomorrow, Grizzle. 100%, buddy. 100%. Right, guys, that's all I have for you, but I want to thank you so very much indeed. I do know live streams are not everyone's cup of tea when it comes to kind of a showcase, but again, it's to show you the aircraft as hopefully, you know, a general flight simmer will interpret it. You can see it loading in, you can see everything in kind of a live environment with questions, and press this, click on that, do the other stuff. That's the idea behind it. So I do hope you found today's stream helpful. And there's a bit of excitement now, right? Tomorrow. And again, I would love for you to join us back again on Wednesday at 1900 Zulu, where we will have Raoul join us live in the stream to talk about this project, because there's so much going on here. And if you've any questions or queries relating to the product, well, that's going to be your chance to ask the developer in a live environment. Do you know what I mean? So Conti's here, good to see you, bud. So lads, thank you all so very, very much indeed. The support has been absolutely incredible. Thank you all for all the new follows, subscribes, all the subs, and for joining our Discord, even if it was just for the giveaway. And congratulations once again to the Slick One for winning the giveaway as well. So I'm flying this aircraft tomorrow on our normal live stream. We're flying tomorrow. We continue on our Monday night series from Earth to the Moon. We're in Australia tomorrow, and the first part of the stream we're flying in the Phenom. Then we jump over to a chopper, and then we're going to fly this on VATSIM for the very first time on Thursday night. So plenty of more content to come with this incredible aircraft being the Phenom. So massive thanks to FSReborn, lads. Thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in. Huge shout out to Gibbo and to Muse for looking after us here as our mods in the background. Old veteran wished he was here. He won't be back to this evening, but I'm sure he'll watch back the video. So thinking of you too as well, Scott. Right, I'm away now, but you'll find all the other details tomorrow. So until then, thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely evening. We'll see you soon.
It's all right.
Hey, Rambog is here. Good to see you, man. Did I miss anyone else? Oh, Jesus, watch what you're doing, Murphy. Oh, no! The dreaded chat! I know! See what happens? Did you see it? Collider is here. Do you know? Ah, don't hit me with a frying pan! Oh, jeez! Did you hear it? You just hit me with a frying pan!
She didn't make a noise!
Of course I made a noise! You hit me with a frying pan in my head!
Turn around!
Why would you hit me with a frying pan? Don't hit me again! Ah! Yes, it makes a noise! You're hitting me with a frying pan! Annalisa, did you put her up to that? Jesus, me head! Oh, who hit someone? I mean, come on! Who hit someone with a frying pan, for God's sake? Oh, very hollow sounding. What? What are you talking about, hollow sounding? This will surely blow up. All is well in the realm. I promise you can make... Oh, there it is. It landed like a dart, and now it's fine again. Yeah, we broke the plane. We absolutely broke the plane. Yes. Right, the last thing I want to